close down the chat. And lower this so that we can get started with tonight's episode.
Like
hello, hello, everyone. How are we doing?
Hello.
Wait, why the confusion? Did I say too many hellos?
No.
Right as you came in saying hello, OLG said fucking because she's in the middle of the story,
and then I stopped.
Yeah.
So sorry, chat. Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't cuss on.
It's not. I'm not that sorry because I swear a lot. You should.
We don't.
Yeah,
bring
you
that
should
kind
know.
of language to this place.
That's my toxicity.
Yeah, we try not to fucking swear, okay, or just to keep it down, okay?
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, welcome out everyone to episode 42. We have no Bree today, but she should be back next week. But we did leave off on a pretty big note, and there are some other little things that I know that people wanted to do. So I thought let's continue on and see where we get up to. So does anyone have anything they want to shout out before we do dive into things?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
What?
She's not watching, but shout out to my mom because it's her birthday today.
Oh, shout out to your mom.
Happy birthday.
She wouldn't be able to find Twitch on her phone because it's too small, and they call me when they're remote unpairs from their television, so I don't think she can find this. Just in case, hi mom, happy birthday.
I had a talking of the elderly and technology.
Dude, I hope she's not watching because you just called her the elderly.
Oh my goodness.
Look,
sorry mom.
Crushed.
I've got old parents. My dad was literally a boomer. I had a voicemail like 2 days ago, which is from this very polite, quite posh grandmother in England. She goes, "Hello, Chris, it's Granny. I need your help with technology right now because my emails are no longer being forwarded and my WhatsApp messages aren't coming up. If you could get back to me, please. Thank you." I was like, do I call her back and help her? But then I thought, no.
Yes,
you do.
No, because hold on.
It's a tiny old lady.
No, hold on. Because you shouldn't be answering to strangers and taking tech advice from strangers, right? That's like scamming 101. So I'd be
So you're teaching her by not helping her.
But that's the thing. If I call up and then I add to that and I give her good advice, that could screw over in the future if she then talks to someone else who does the same thing but actually gives her bad advice. I don't know. I was in a quandary. See, it's
just
stressful.
text her and say like, "I'm not your grandson."
You're saying that the
but
trust
good
she
luck.
builds with you will then be exploited by
By
an
a
actual
scammer.
scam.
Yes, exactly.
Well, why
But
don't
you
you help
didn't-
her and then
you
be like,
didn't-
hey,
Build up
never-
anything, trust or otherwise. So the
Well,
next
if I call
person
her-
she does
You,
that to,
Sam, I know what you're about to say.
scammer.
You help them, and then you say, but never listen to anyone ever do this again because they're after you. They're gonna get you, and then you hang up. They're gonna freak out.
Yeah, I don't know what to
They will.
do. I was stressed, man.
That's
I was
Everything
stressed.
you just did.
the only thing that you can do is come up with like a harmless scam.
Okay.
And that way, like,
yeah.
you teach the lesson,
Yeah,
but you
right.
don't actually, like, harm anything
So it'd help her,
necessarily.
but then
This
get her
could've
to
been
put like a funny picture on her desktop. Yeah.
Right.
But it
yeah.
could
Change
have
your
been like
desktop
the
background.
story of the like old lady that texted the guy for like Thanksgiving or whatever, and then he was like,
and they're like
I'm
best
not-
friends now?
"Yeah, now they're like best friends and they have Thanksgiving together every year."
You're
and they
right.
like
Do you know what I should have scammed her. You know, that
call
would
her
have
right.
been
No, that's not what
that would have been that's the way to do. You're
That's
right.
what I'm saying.
You're right. All right, I'll do that during the break.
What counts as a boomer, by the way?
My dad was born in
What-
1946, so literally during the
Oh.
baby boom.
Oh, so
yeah.
he fully.
He's a
I think-
literal
I
boomer.
think that's my parents too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Shout out boomers.
Yeah. Shout out
You
to the
can't find
boomers.
this stream either.
It's true.
Ouch.
It's
true.
So, let's get started with some Dungeons and Dragons, shall we? Does anyone want to do the intro, the recap?
Can I do the recap because I was gone for the end?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
Mm-mm. I'll bear the cross. Okay, here we go. No, where did you go? Okay. It is no rumor that last we left off, we were returning from our trek through the mountain when we all fell into deep slumber. In our dreams, otherworldly creatures visited and attempted to make offers. We learned that Calig's mind was tainted by the children of the Three, and without assistance would continue to haunt the minds of those around him. With the help of Sister Abigail, we wiped out a portion of his memories surrounding his time in the vault and made him a less applicable host for those using him as a vessel. After collecting numerous things from camp, including a bounty, we found a guest of Indrasa had arrived unexpectedly. He introduced himself as Razaris, Indrasa's partner. He inquired about the Twisted Maw gemstone we held, and asked to have it before revealing himself as a devil and archdemon. What?
Oh yeah, you didn't know
You
that.
missed a little bit.
That's right.
Very cool.
You just missed
Tech would be in the
tiny bit,
room.
That's all.
You're inside of this tent right now, and essentially, you're sitting inside a kind of almost like a reality bubble itself. The table, the chairs all lined out. Him sat at the one end of the table, invited you all to sit around it inside this tent. The tent looks a lot larger from the inside, and he kind of sits there and looks across the table after revealing himself, saying, "I am Lord Razaris of the 472nd layer of the Abyss, Devil and Archdemon."
The second he says that, Morgane's gonna lift up her hand and her sword will like materialize, aimed down the table. She never sat. She was the only one that didn't sit.
He looks across. Does it help if I say I come in peace?
No.
I thought you might have this reaction. I was worried about you from day one. How unfortunate that you were to join Indrasa's party.
It's not my party. It's
You don't lead them?
We're more of a collective.
no,
Ah,
Y'all lead each other in a way.
exactly.
to just say, if you were to go to strike me down, I would vanish from this area and probably just resort to sending messages to my partner until I can find some private moments. But if you would allow us to have some civilized conversation, perhaps I can change your mind on what is quite I imagine, a fair reason for disliking my kind. Or, of course, you can remain stood with your blade pointed at me, but your arm may tie. You can lower it to your side if you prefer. I do mean it when I come in peace. In fact, I come with alternative means and well-intentions. I am simply here to visit Indrasa.
That's it.
After this conversation, all I would like is some private moments with her before I leave. I have no intention otherwise of disturbing your adventure or anything akin to it. Though I do imagine that I have some things which you'd be interested in terms of knowledge. Some things which I've been piecing together a little bit. But I don't wish to cause too much of a stir. Do you have questions for me first? Is that all right to ask?
Yes.
What has she told you?
What she told me? Well, I imagine the majority. Perhaps my love has kept a few things to herself, but I imagine the majority. I share everything with her and vice versa. Ah. If any of you have the means of dispel magic, remove curse, you can cast it all upon her if you wish. This is a mutual consensual love. There is no contract, no power dynamic here of gestures of power one way or another. We simply enjoy one another's company.
think Indrasa kind of rolls her eyes slightly at that.
In fact, I'm not truly in the business of contracts. A stereotype of devils, I'm afraid.
Is there something in particular you are concerned about, Sir Morgaine, that I may have spared?
Yes. For me to bear such truth to you, for you to harbor such a secret, disgusts me. One of the few times I'm fortunate to not have eyes, so as not to witness this betrayal. Have your conversation. Morgaine will leave.
Well, perhaps the rest of you will not be so quick to judge. And, Indrasa, I apologize that I've laid this burden upon you. I'm afraid that Sir Morgaine, was it? Would likely have fairly fair reasons for disliking fiends. And most mortals do. But and I don't mean this to sound demeaning, but I am, you've probably heard this, unlike others. I am not bound by the rules of devils, and equally so by demons. I actually find mortals fascinating, and I am rather content with what I own within the abyss, and my desires simply lie on being able to study my magic, learn more about your world, and rest for the rest of eternity in my peaceful abyssal lair.
Okay. Indrasa puts her hand on his. My dear, you just asked everyone if they had any questions for you, and then you kept talking. Why don't you give them a moment to do the thing, yes?
I apologize.
Joe, can I insight his statement on his desires and intentions here? It's a 22.
He looks fairly convinced by the words. Yeah, it looks, as best you can tell off of his facial features, that he believes that is his general demeanor.
Did Indrasa know that you were coming?
Not particularly. She invited me several times to come and have dinner with her, but I was engaged. Things have been getting a little more dangerous at home, and something that I have not actually made my love privy to yet myself. But in a way. And before I do, your questions first. Your questions first.
Tack will look around the table.
That is curious. Yes?
Seems like, from what you said you want to do, I'm not entirely sure why you need this thing.
Carlisle's gonna point at the gem.
Well, in all honesty, I can tell you how to destroy it. I can tell you how to get rid of it, if you do, in fact, decline my offer. I would prefer this thing is untouched by another. It is advantageous for me. Maybe one of you, if Indrasa vouches, or even Indrasa herself, if she wishes to join me in eternal abyss. Which does not sound as bad as it is. Or it is not as bad as it sounds, I should say. The reason I want that is a distraction. I imagine that the entirety of that abyssal layer will be destroyed in the coming years, perhaps even weeks. Currently, the void in which the Twisted Moors was left behind in is behind enemy lines. There is a conqueror in my section of the abyss that has her eyes on my lair and another in front of mine. If I was to consume the Twisted Moors, I would simply use them as a distraction whilst I search for how to destroy her. Or at least scare her off. But if you decline, I understand. I would make an offer in return if you were to give it to me. But I also understand the danger of trusting devils.
Yeah. What is the offer you would give in return? You can't just...
Of course. Well, I'll give you context to why I'm in the material plane in general. But first, the offer as an overview. I can't intervene here. I am an exiled devil, self-exiled, believed to be dead in the hells. If I make even the slightest bit of noise, I could have the gods breathing down my neck, or even worse, other devils. I am not looking to be noticed in this plane. However, I have beings under my command that could be very useful to you. Currently, they are preoccupied defending my territory, but if I were to have the Twisted Moors, I could potentially release one or two of them at a time of your calling, for a brief moment, to aid you. A high-ranking one of my generals that I am sure you could use in whatever battles you have coming up. You call upon them during a dangerous moment, and I'm sure that they will be able to aid you greatly. I will also be able to aid you with any information I gather. And I would offer you something freely. I believe I know where one of the heralds, or at least the name of a herald of one of these children of the three, is. Oh,
You do?
based on what you've told me, I think I have an inkling. Funnily enough, this is the person I'm hoping to hunt down here in the material plane myself. But to give you context into the matter, how much do you all know about onomancy and names? True names.
How much do we know about that?
Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Okay. I wasn't open.
That's okay. Anyone is free to do so if you wish.
12.
With the 12, you probably heard the term, and it just assumed probably it's just one of those many like offshoot schools of magic and studies of magic. Desmond, you probably haven't. It doesn't come up in many heroic stories. It's not the most heroic magic out there. It's a very blended one.
Boring.
What is it, like studying?
Skip those pages.
I feel like Indrasa would know what he would have
Yes.
told her. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Onomancy is often seen as divination through true names. However, it is runic magic at its core. Its study here in material plane has become somewhat one portion of its original study. It is, in truth, the study of the runes of creation. It is an offshoot of the song of creation, words of creation. You see, mortals like yourselves have souls. And what many of your scholars don't realize, or those who don't ever really dive into such runic magic will realize, is a soul is two runes fused. I know mortals often believe that, or at least know, that the magic in which when two mortals were to reproduce is a great spell in itself. What they don't realize is that mortals are one of the few species or being in existence that is able, outside of the gods, that is able to create new runes. When mortals create life, it is the soul and all runes combining, and soul. For fiends, devils and demons, Yugoloth and all of the external fiends that live in the lower planes, we are born from a rune called a true rune. This is where names are gathered from. Each one of us is created from these runes. And the more powerful your rune, the more powerful your name, the more powerful you grow. When demons empower their runes, they might need other runes to do so. Same with devils. That is why they so commonly consume souls, which is combining two new runes to empower their true rune, thus giving themselves a name. At one point, most greater devils or greater demons create a true name, and they hide it. The lesser ones will hide it in prisons in their mind. Others will physically manifest it and hide it as a physical being somewhere in their plane, another plane, hide it somewhere. The greatest devil among us is Modius, is a rune name that is infinitely long. But most greater demons and devils is a few syllables. You need a great soul to create a great and true name. Now you must be wondering why I'm telling you this. Well, there is a being known as the Queen of Blood. She is a demon, a succubus that, at the beginning of the Blood War, instead of going to the Hells, she was one of the few succubi that went to the Abyss. If you don't know the difference between demons and devils, devils are far more lawful. They stick to rules. Demons are chaotic. They betray each other consistently. There was more to be earned in the Hells, but the Queen of Blood decided to become the consort of many of the great lords in the Abyss. The Demigorgon, such ones as Baphomet. She became their consort, and she was probably the greatest influence behind the Blood War when the river connected. She convinced many of the demons to team up and fight against the devils. But as time went on, they forgot about her, and she simply became a lady of one of the layers of the outside of the Abyss, similar to me. But in recent times, she's become a conqueror, trying to regain her favor. She's taken over 5 abyssal layers. That is quite a considerable amount. Most conquerors I've ever heard of conquered 2, 3 before becoming greater ones. And I'm 2 away from her, and she has her eyes set on the next couple. I can't beat her. I can't fight her. I don't want her power. If I were to kill her and take it, I don't want it. I don't want to be put on the map. But I can scare her. Not directly in a fight. She would destroy me. She's more powerful. But if I discover her true name, that would be enough to at least scare her off infinitely. I have discovered one of the 3 syllables. The second, or last of the 3, I should say, I believe to be in the Abyss. That one I am currently hunting, and I have demons hunting it. But the second syllable of her name, I believe to be here in the material plane, specifically here in High Loma. The Queen of Blood is the progenitor of what all of you might refer to as vampires. She's the mother of the first, and her line is the only line of vampires which are not considered undead. They are able to procreate. So, I believe that this line is where she is hiding one of those syllables, whether it be in the back of the mind of one of the descendants, or physically somewhere on them. Perhaps they even just know. The problem is that finding these descendants was difficult, and to attract one down. There was one that came from a place called Wolfgard in Velreath 3 decades ago. She came for a calling. Her name is Lady Arlington. I believe she is a descendant of the first vampire and of the Queen of Blood. And I believe, based on what Indrasa told me, that she came to serve another. I knew that she was coming for patronage, power, gifted by something. I've lost any trace of her here. Perhaps she is using a different name. But it is likely that she is a herald. And if I had to guess, to blood.
Shit.
So, therein lies
That's
my
me
issue.
saying that, not in trust.
It is a lot to drop on you. But if I find that syllable and then the last one, I will be able to deter her.
And that's what you want the gem for.
The Twisted Moors is currently located behind her planes. It was in the direction that she was conquering. And then for all of us, we thought they just disappeared into the void, teleported somewhere else. But with that gem, as you called it, what we've learned is that they actually just condensed themselves down and hid here in the material plane. She's had to divert around it. If someone was to consume it, and that layer of the abyss appears, it would be right behind her. She'll have to turn her attention backward, and it would slow her advance down. Which is also why I'd be willing to make a deal with one of you, if you wished to consume it yourself. An ally in the abyss. Though I would warn you, that does come with damnation. Your soul would break, you would become true of Rune. Or it would empower the true Rune, I should say. But I am willing to hear you out. For the person that consumes that will be directly an enemy towards the Queen of Blood anyway herself. So no, I had no knowledge of this Twisted Moors upon your person. I was simply visiting Indrasa to share some of my own plight and to spend an evening with my love. This is a happy coincidence. Any questions?
Well, I'm not going to consume it. That's entirely too much.
Even though she left, I do feel that we should talk about this as a group.
I agree.
Agreed.
Indrasa, I think we would probably all agree that out of all of us, Morgaine has had to compromise her oath and ideals more than the rest of us with the sort of things we're engaging with. I think more than anything, she's potentially frustrated by the buildup of that. At what point are there no ideals left? Does that make sense?
Yes, dear.
I'm not saying looks at devil. I'm not saying that I have anything against you personally, and you've acknowledged that Morgaine potentially has something deeply personal or not. I just think that she needs to be talked to about this.
If she'd be willing to talk to me, I can also discuss and perhaps clear the air. Though I imagine she's been trained her whole life to deal with threats of an otherworldly nature. But I assure you that my intentions are as I've put them. And if there's anything I can do to help at least calm that, I will. In truth, I worried about visiting Indrasa and ruining all of her position among you by revealing myself, but I had hoped that perhaps in my arrogance and my ego, I might be able to convince you that I am good. Or at least not a threat.
I think Indrasa's been pretty calm this whole time, just sort of letting the conversation happen, right? And she looks sort of mildly puzzled, I think. You know, it seemed this was a good opportunity to sort of introduce you, etc. I did ask Morgane about her oath, and she said, you know, to fight evil. But that was fine. You're not evil. We're not doing anything evil. There's no conflict.
But
I recognize that sometimes I don't quite understand everything, right? And you're not in someone else's head. You don't truly know what they're thinking, but it just made sense to me. And so I thought, well, there's no problem.
Imagine that Morgane is coming from a place of, if not full on, at least somewhat zealotry, right? She has probably been told that...
Do you know what it is? Right. Well, now I feel bad. I don't really want to say what I thought it is without her here. I don't want to talk about her. She's fully capable of, you know, hearing the things and saying the things her own self. But I certainly recognize that I, you know, miscalculated this one, I would say. Quite badly.
I don't think that she, again, I also can't speak for her, but I don't think that she would be unwilling to meet you where you're at. But to have this sprung on her was unfortunate. Carlisle, what do you think? You're a good judge of character.
Well, I'm gonna tell you honestly that we met this guy today, and this was a pretty big thing to keep from us. And I've seen what that, Carlisle point at the gem, can do to someone. And I can tell you right now, there's not much that could be said to me that would convince me of any path other than destroying it.
I've got a question. We've known each other for what? A month? Would you say? Does mental crime. A month. She sort of adjusts herself like I just did. When exactly were we sort of all going to lay everything out on the table? Right? What do I know about you, Carlisle? That you are from Horizon's Rest and you have nothing really to go back to. You were in the Land of Light. You were traveling down with Uradot to make sure that she got to Crownheart Hall all right. What do I know about V? I know that V was in the Land of Light. She left home, and I don't think it was her choice. What do I know about Morgane? She was out looking for a group of people on a list from the Dread Vault. Now we know that the Vault is sort of, maybe there's something going on there. Probably Morgane definitely is feeling conflicted about that. What do I know about Tack? Well, let's see. We know quite a bit about Tack, and it seems probably not necessarily Tack by your desire for us to maybe know so much about you. What do we know about Desmond? Well, nothing, but Desmond doesn't know anything about Desmond. So I think Desmond...
You had some cool thing to say about it.
I'm sorry, dear. I do absolutely adore you, but really, what do we know? That you were 11, maybe you're 13 now, right? And that's pretty much... Also, you are a very good shot, dear. We do know that about you. But what I am saying is, one, you don't necessarily lead with, hello, I'm Indrasa. I have two partners. One of them is a wizard. He's currently in the Ruby Stretch right now doing some research. And the other one is a devil, and he is, well, in the abyss right now, just trying to sort of hold his own. And we really got together because we really enjoy the study of magic. That's how we all met. There's not really an opportune moment to say that sort of thing.
Well,
First of all, I'm not done. There's not really an opportune moment to say that sort of thing. We haven't really had the conversation. Sort of, we've said things here and there, right? So now we're having the conversation.
Are you done?
I am now, dear. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that there's a massive difference in stakes between you walking up and saying, hey, my partner's interested in obtaining the power of a layer of the abyss. It should be common
I would like
for
to
everyone
interrupt you.
here. I'm not done.
I didn't know it was
should
a
be
layer of
common
the abyss.
For every single person here to say the autopilot should be take this out of the equation after we saw what it did to Jerry. And the fact, I'm not done. The fact
Go
that that
ahead.
is a conversation that we are having here. That is why it matters when you introduce that information, that your partner is an archdemon.
I did say that I had someone who I thought might know to do with it. I didn't know he was going to show up. There hasn't really been a time to have a long conversation about... So I've been thinking about this gem that has someone trapped inside it, right? We've sort of gone from here to there to there to there, and we haven't really had a moment to sit down. Honestly, I thought maybe we could do it now, and then, of course, here he is.
May I as well?
I don't know. Are you going to help, or are you going to make it worse?
I'm going to help because in this situation, I believe that I am also vulnerable in what I've shared. And I understand for most of you, you have just met me. But I decided to take a risk on you as well. That might not sound like much. My dear did not know this was the Twisted Moors. In truth, he thought it was just a demonic artifact of some kind that might contain a demon. Now, I've been with Indrasa for many decades. Our relationship is long-lasting.
Excuse me.
And in this regard, there has been no exchanging of anything. This is the first time I've asked for anything of this kind. I know you will not believe me on this. But the moment I informed her of what it was, we called together your group. The moment we discovered it, we brought you in. I could have taken it, ran with it, betrayed her then. I will tell you how to destroy it. I don't mind that. Of course I prefer to use it to slow down my enemy. I'll be honest, it will be destroyed when I use it. I asked Indrasa to never mention who I am. Because the Hells want me dead. And they would not just destroy me. They would torture me for an eternity if I'm discovered. My existence is a secret on the edge of the abyss, and I ask her to keep that secret within her. To reveal it to a mortal in the first place was already a risk, but to trust in her friends is an equal one that I have taken. But I have chosen to do so because she has spoken highly of you. This is a grave matter. This Twisted Moors is absolutely something that you should discuss and decide among yourselves. You're the ones who discovered it. I made an offer. You can refuse that offer, and I'll tell you still how to destroy it. I'll give you all of the right directions. You can double check it. You can go to every library in this damn place and find if that is truth. I think we just lost someone. Who do we lose?
Big
Is it the
We lost fake Bree.
fake Bree?
Big Bree, come back.
Okay, we're back. Sorry. The only secret that she was keeping from you, as far as I'm aware, is the existence of my true form. And she did not do that because she did not trust you or to hide it from you for some sort of ulterior means. It was merely to protect myself. I can tell you how to destroy this and leave, and you'll never see me. I can meet her in private, and we can exchange no more words of what has been going on. I've been a consultant to these things, and I'll tell you honestly now. Everything that you're doing here is beyond fiends. Most devils and demons who ever take notice, and especially devils who take notice in your plane, their focus is on alternative gods. This is news to me. I've heard of the Children of the Three. I've heard of these elder gods. They're nothing that we ever really look into ourselves. I will sit aside, away from whatever it is you're doing. My concern is for her life. And whatever you're getting yourselves into. But if it would make you feel greater and more comfort, I can tell you exactly how to destroy that twisted maw.
Yeah, to destroy it, that's something that is within our capabilities.
It
right?
is a ritual, yes.
All right.
But one that is simple. I imagine it is within your capabilities, especially with the fact that you have a warden of the Dreadfort with you.
All right.
But I understand your grievances and worries about secrets among your group.
It ain't even. Honestly, I can move past details not being given about each of us. But we set out as a party to save the world. I'm not interested in half measures where we let some stuff slide and we take a risk that could hurt people. I don't know you. I may not know you for a long time well enough to trust giving this to you. And I ain't gonna leave myself responsible for possibly leaving this in a means that could hurt other people when we have the opportunity now to stop it.
But then we destroy it. But it sounds like we may need more gain for that.
I imagine one
I
of you
just think she should be part of the conversation. But I agree. I won't grandstand on my morals, but even just from the position of there are just too many chaotic unknowns right now with everything that we're trying to do. And what we do know is that this thing is dangerous. And if we get rid of it, we don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's the position I'm at.
All right. Well, is this a long ritual? Can it be done at any time? Is it
could
a
be
specific?
done. It is not incredibly specific. The realm itself is invulnerable until it's detoothed. And then what you do to it after that is what you need to work out. Essentially, you need to have it in blessed water with a lot of salt, a copious amount of salt in that water. Then you can pluck the teeth off one by one. Soak it for an hour. When it is detoothed, you have a few options. Of course, I will tell you how to destroy it. I will not tell you how to restore it, for I do not wish to have that lord come back. And I imagine none of you would be interested in that, but just in case any of you are. But to destroy it once it is softened and deplucked, burn it in radiant fire. It will take minutes, but eventually it will burn and will phase. During that time, you will hear him. He will try and get you to restore it.
Is it a thing that will be quite loud? How far away do we need to be from the camp, right? I don't...
Best to go at least half a mile. I don't know.
Oh.
In truth, this is all just... In my time in the Abyss, I've never seen someone destroy one of the planes. But also at the same time, these layers aren't often condensed in this way. It is all theory, but it should work. There's one thing I specialize in. It is knowledge.
Yes, dear. All right. Salt, radiant fire,
Blessed water. with
holy
salt.
water. Soak for an hour, pull all of the teeth out, then burn it.
In radiant fire.
Ignore him making deals with us.
If you can tie yourselves down or anything like that, it might
Tie
be worth it.
ourselves down.
It is not a simple case of ignoring him. He's a lord of the abyss, known for talking.
Oh.
He offer more than deals.
Do we also need to destroy the teeth? Do they do anything once we take them off?
They will simply be demonic teeth. You could use them to craft something if you wish.
And how many of us are necessary to do this ritual?
One could do it. And if worst comes to worst, and one of you is close to restoring it, if he tells you how, which will be difficult, if all is going wrong, bite into the flesh, and you'll gain its power. That is how you consume it. But that should be a last resort, because know that if you do, you will be empowering and creating a true rune among yourselves. A true name. Empowered by your soul.
All right. But it seems like Carlisle, you would probably, I don't know why I think that. I was going to say you'd probably be best at removing the teeth, but I suppose it's just from a gem and not necessarily like from a person.
I can remove them. I think probably anyone could remove them, though I'd have to check if I have holy water on hand. I don't. Do.
I'm sure Morgaine can create holy water, or at least knows how to.
Good point. I can help whoever is there to resist the potential bargaining. Above board, I can cast Intellect Fortress to help with saves.
If going inside of Calig's mind has taught me anything, it's that I don't have the mental fortitude to do something like this. But I'll assist in any other way that I can.
Got some good nuts.
Right. Dear, if we need to go far away from camp, I realize this is all theory. Sorry, would he be trying to convince us to help in an auditory fashion or sort of, telepathically, do you think, if you had to guess?
Telepathically.
Bollocks. I was thinking, right, you could sort of
It
somehow
depends.
silence the...
You might be able to. You could... He is within there. Imagine it standing over an anthill. He's looking out. You could potentially block his view. You might not know who to speak to.
Literally cover it.
That could work. Theoretically. Though, I don't know if cloth alone will stop him.
Oh.
Sorry. What were you going to say?
I mean, much of this rests on Morgaine, but she can create a sort of darkness, right? So...
That could work.
that might help.
Tech will have been playing with a ring that they're wearing. And we'll look at it almost like they're remembering, and take it off and hold it up and hand it to Desmond and say, could you identify this for me? It was given to me a long time ago. It might be helpful with this, but I don't remember exactly what it does.
Okay. Let's see. I will spend 10 minutes identifying this while the talking's going on.
I'll message you, Joe, and remind you what it is.
Yep. Okay. All right. Give me a sec. This is from the beginning, right? Okay.
My parent. Sorry.
No, you go.
Yeah, just in RP. They would say my parent gave it to me a long time ago, but just said that it would help. It would keep someone from sort of prying into my intentions or sort of seeing beneath my surface thoughts. But I don't know if it could keep someone from trying to talk to you or anything like that.
You would discover a ring of mind shielding.
Oh shit.
Oh, it looks like a brain.
It is kind of gross looking.
Kind of killer. Let's see. While wearing this ring, you're immune to magic that allows other creatures to read your thoughts, determine whether you're lying, know your alignment, or know your creature type. That's handy for a changeling.
Very.
Creatures can telepathically communicate with you only if you allow it. You can use an action to cause the ring to become invisible, until you use another action to make it visible, until you remove the ring, or until you die. If you die while wearing this ring, your soul enters it. Unless it already houses a soul, you can remain in the ring or depart for the afterlife. As long as your soul is in the ring, you can telepathically communicate with any creature wearing it. A wearer can't prevent this telepathic communication. Holy. Interesting. Okay.
It's a good item.
So that could
Does
help.
seem handy
Right?
for what we're doing, I think. You won't be able to whisper to whoever wears this.
Right.
That should block him
But
out.
But well, no, Carla, you did say not. I'm just wondering, how do you ensure, right? I don't know. What if that didn't work and we just had one person doing it, right? That would not be. We can't really have. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is there a soul in this? You died. Your soul didn't go in this ring.
You wouldn't have detected a soul. But the reason being... give me an Arcana check, Desmond.
Oh, boy.
I believe in you.
Hey, dirty 20.
Ooh, 20.
Yep, I...
Because it requires attunement. Tack was never really attuned to this.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
therefore wouldn't have been able to store their soul on there. I realize my presence has disturbed the foundation of your party here. Though I am distracted with my own things, I offer my assistance to you however I can. Without the Twisted Moors, I'm unable to give you any physical assistance. And I mean no offense, I must focus on my own issues. But the material plane means more to me than most other mortals. I've studied and watched it for a long, long time. Therefore, any information I can gather for you, I'd be happy to do so. the concept of evil is one that you could debate for hours. Devils and demons often seen as evil for their consumption of souls. Yet they use them in the same way that gods do. In truth, most beings consume other beings. And that is the way it has always been. But you might consider me a vegetarian. I have not consumed a mortal soul in a long, long time. Not that it makes it any better in your minds. Perhaps, though, it might give you some comfort. And I would say that in a zone of truth as quickly as I'd say it now. Like I said, if there's one thing you could do for me, it is pretend you never met me.
It feels like it would be a good idea to be rid of the gem sooner rather than later.
Yes.
What time of day is it?
Good question.
It was like
I think
afternoon,
early. Yeah,
I think.
yeah. I think it's early afternoon.
Question, darling. You couldn't sense that. You couldn't. The rock said that there were hunters after them.
Yes. By the Queen of Blood.
And right, are they able to sense the gem itself, or were they just sort of casting a wider net and, you know, they knew who they were chasing, do you think?
If they know who they're chasing, it is easier. They cast similar magic to what you would cast.
Right.
In this regard, I imagine they know more than I do. It means she knew it existed. Or at least some of her generals did. You are in danger if you hold on to it longer. And if any of her people get hold of this and consume it, it will be damnation for my realm.
Tuck will get up. I'm gonna go speak to Morgaine, unless one of you would like to do it.
I mean, I think we can all go together at this point.
If we want to expedite this, we could try to get this done tonight. If we really want to be rid of it.
I think the sooner the better.
I would agree with that. I don't think... we don't know how someone could sense it, right? So... best to just be done.
The Queen of Blood is dangerous. Her people will do whatever they can to take this from you.
All right.
And if
Let's
Sir
talk with
Morgaine
Morgaine.
wishes to meet with me, my door is open as long as I'm here. Which will be short, I assure you. He just puts the wine to his mouth and like begins sipping it awkwardly.
Yeah, Tuck will start moseying out then.
Yeah, Carlisle.
I'm not Indrasa looks a little conflicted, I think. You know, sometimes I'm not the best at sort of reading the room and people. Mostly people. I'm not... Generally, I'm quite sure of things. I'm not sure in this moment if I should go with or not.
I think the two of you wanted some time alone, and you should take this opportunity.
Yes, dear.
And the rest of us can talk with Morgaine. Does that sound fair? Right.
Just nods.
Yeah. We'll go to find Morgaine.
Okay, where's some
Morgaine's
Morgaine?
just outside. Just sat outside.
Did you
Hey,
listen?
holding up.
Not really, no.
Well, we came out to let you know, unless you have an objection to it, that our plan right now is to destroy that thing tonight.
Okay.
And he said that door's open if you want to go in and talk to them, though I'm assuming you probably don't.
Oh, I have no interest in speaking to that people. And I apologize for my conduct in there, but I'll speak plainly to all of you. You can tell Indrasa or not. But I trusted you all with things very secret to me because I thought it was the best thing to do. And among those things was me realizing that my whole life, important information has been kept from me. Only for it to happen in that room. So if there's anything else anybody is hiding that they think might be impertinent, I would like to know.
Yeah, I don't have any devil partners that are going to be walking in anytime soon. No one worry about a thing.
I'm sorry, Morgaine. I don't think any of us really know truly what your upbringing has been like. And we discussed it a bit in there, but I know that the things that you've been told and the oath that you've made, that you've been asked to compromise that quite a bit just over the last month.
There are some things that have caused my oath to waver as of late, but one thing that will never waver is loyalty.
Hmm.
Anyway, what do you need to do to destroy this thing?
It's a
Y'all
ritual.
going to need, for starters, to detooth it. It's going to take a good amount of salt and a lot of holy water. I've got a lot of muffins that no one ended up eating, so we can use that for the salt. I don't know.
We were wondering if you
got
knew
the
how to.
means, Yeah,
Mm.
for holy water.
I think I can manage that.
Once
And
the
then,
teeth are out.
We also have the monks. I'm sure they know as well.
That's true.
The actual process of destroying it is going to be a bit more risky. We're going to have to go through some steps to make sure that anyone there at that point in time when it's happening doesn't try to reform the layer and restore it during the process. Apparently that's a risk.
And you trust this demon?
Well, no. Not particularly at all. But I do know that we have no better options, it seems like, to get rid of it as of now. And the idea of leaving it doesn't really make me feel too great either at this point.
Okay. I will assist where I can.
We're going to try to do it tonight. Just get rid of it. In the meantime, for what it's worth, I do believe that Indrasa didn't believe that she was doing anything that could potentially upset you. I think your perceptions of the world are very different. And she explained that she doesn't believe this person to be evil, and so she didn't think that it was of any consequence what he is, which I think, again, goes to show a difference in upbringing and view, and I'll leave it to the two of you to discuss if you want to, but...
Well, if the workings of my order are now known to a demon, I don't think that's a difference in worldview. I think that's ignorance.
I can't speak to whether or not that's the case.
I think that there's a level of transparency and communication that should have been made in this party regarding who we are telling information to before it is said. And I think, at least for me, I can understand, isolated from any order or oath, why that would bother Morgaine. Whether or not it was a demon or just someone else, the fact that that information was given to someone that we, as a collective group, do not have an understanding of and a trust of,
Right.
gives me pause.
That is my issue. My oath, I understand. Not everyone has one. Sometimes I will have to compromise. I just don't want to continuously hit roadblocks, things that make me stumble, because the people I deemed closest to me deigned not to inform.
I understand.
I have trouble enough seeing the present. Let's not make me predict the future. And then with that, she'll head off to find the monks and make a like a cauldron of holy water.
The monks haven't actually arrived yet. They'd be arriving shortly. If you're referring to Diao and Tamora, they were waiting back for Tamora to wake up. So they haven't actually reached the party yet.
She'll look proud
wait
by
for
then.
them. Yeah, definitely. You could definitely do that.
I can't get it out of my mind, the idea of a big tub of water with just salt muffins that have disintegrated just floating in it and being like, that's it. We did it.
Yeah, it's true.
How salty are they? Like, how
They were
long is it going
ridiculously
to
salty.
take them to
They
dissolve,
fucking
though,
salty,
right?
dude.
It's just going to be like, we're
Globs,
going to
you
have to,
crush
like,
it.
yeah, heat that water up big time.
Was anyone doing anything for the next couple of hours or so? Or do we want to skip a couple hours ahead? I'm not doing anything. Then it would take a couple hours or so before, whilst you're waiting around hoping that the monks will finally arrive, they do. The two in tow. Timur and Diao sliding up the halfling and the elderly woman. As they're kind of being led through the wilderness, heading up towards the camp. Diao kind of like introduces herself, says hello to a couple of the other survivors from the mountains who are like, oh yeah, this is the place. We've all got tents up over here. It's big. It's got loads of different people, and they kind of starts introducing them. And she smiles. Tamora says to me, you might be able to over here to one side. Allow me to find the others. And wanders to see who would be kind of outside and wandering around. What's everyone doing?
Mm.
Anyone
I
outside?
don't think Tack would be.
Okay.
I mean, Indrasa's in her tent, right? His
Yeah.
tent. A tent.
Is anyone outside at all?
Yeah,
I mean,
Morgaine would be.
Carlisle would probably be with Morgaine because he'd be
Yeah,
planning on
Morgaine would be
helping with the
prepping a
detoothing.
basin of water,
Okay.
like a cauldron, and then begin just kind of praying over it.
Yeah. Tamora would head over towards you two. And you notice immediately, Carlisle, you'd see this. Her eyes have gone jet black. But like almost like this palish black, almost just kind of empty. And she wanders over, head held high. And she smiles like softly towards both of you. Thank you for everything you did back in the mountain.
Yeah, don't mention it.
Diao
pleasure.
said it was a good idea for us to join you. We might be able to give insight and help along the road, besides the mountain itself. We will return to it, but in due time.
Well, you are welcome here for as long as you want.
It is kind. I will say to you, I have lost my vision, though I spent decades without it anyway. I got too close to it. But I did get a glimpse of what it felt. It was angry. Disturbed, like it had been betrayed. It was lashing out like a child. I did get glimpses of its intentions, though. It's searching for a vessel. Almost desperately.
Okay. Thanks for letting us know.
Of course. She turns on a hill, kind of walks back towards a kind of gathering of people. But how do you look to bless the water?
I was going to ask you about that because I don't really know how the system for doing that would work, but I have bless. I also have lay on hands, or I didn't know if it was more of like a religion check thing.
Bless would work.
But...
Bless would definitely work.
Okay.
The bless spell can bless water.
Can it also bless fire?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if that would work actually. Hang on, let me check something.
Ceremony also does it.
Okay, so I
Ceremonies
could
also
create.
go to it.
Well, I could use create bonfire and then I could bless it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do that. The only downside with bless is maintaining it beyond. It's blessed for the duration. If you have the ceremony spell, that will create it indefinitely.
I can get it. I don't have it ready now.
There's
We
also
shouldn't need it for a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
I could get it on a long rest, but
Well, actually,
we wanted to do it tonight,
actually we might need. Don't we, it needs to soak in blessed salted water for an hour.
yes for the first
Yeah.
portion. Mm-hmm.
You might need a longer version of this.
Okay, so after the bless drops off, the water wouldn't be blessed anymore. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it only blesses for the duration.
Okay.
Just because ceremonies already kind of blesses, and is that second level? Oh, it's first level as well.
It's first level ritual, but it's not concentration.
Yeah, it's because it specifically is in that one. There's also the option of you can also pay for clerics to do it if you can find one.
I can change spells on a short rest, right, as a warlock?
No, you'd be changing. You could change
I
out a
can't.
spell, one spell on a long rest is what my basic homebrew rule is.
Okay.
But no,
Yeah, I
you
didn't know
can
what
get
it
your
was.
spells back on a short rest.
Okay. So I'd have to long rest and pick up ceremony.
Well, I mean,
basically.
it's the afternoon and we want to do this at night, and this should only take an hour for prep before we're ready to actually do it. So, like, you technically could.
Yeah, I think Morgaine would turn to Carla and be like, I need to maintain this longer, so I will need to meditate.
Okay. I'll make sure
sometime.
everything else is ready to go. Maybe pick out a spot to get this done.
Okay.
Okay.
Far
And then
from
she would
here. Yeah.
head to her quarters. I'm gonna basically long rest myself into getting ceremony.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's
yeah.
happening. I want to do like a survival check or something with Carlisle to go out and find a place, like the distance that was said away
Yeah.
from everything and anyone, including people that might not even be part of our group, like
Yeah.
our caravan,
Yeah, you can go out into the
and
middle
make
of
sure that
nowhere.
we have a good spot for this.
Yeah, give me a survivor check.
That is a 19.
Yeah, you could easily go and find a nice spot somewhere in the woods, off the trails of Marigold. Maybe find an old farmland that's kind of been abandoned, so you're kind of in a field where you'd be able to see all around you for quite a good distance. Also, kind of rooted vegetables farmland, so it's just kind of got some overgrown grass around the area, but
Ew.
is just mostly like a dirt trodden field. So yeah, you could probably go and do it there. Unless you're
Can
trying to be
I
secretive and
spend-
you can find it in the woods.
I don't think he'd be trying to be super secretive. There's not like a boatload of people staring at him or anything. But the second part would make me be like, oh, I probably want to make sure this isn't a place that's a little bit out of people's sight, because Carlisle would probably
Yeah.
genuinely spend some time making like fastens to keep people from like being able to get to this thing, like for the ritual part. Like with rope, he'd probably be setting something up for that purpose.
Yeah. Okay. This would be like the third or fourth field that's been abandoned in a farmhouse. So it's kind of like it is way off the beaten arrow. You got woodland all around you, so it's a pretty safe, secure spot to go and set up some rope on like an obscure tree out there, or like a lone tree. Okay. Anyone else doing anything for the next 8 hours?
We didn't take the teeth out yet, right?
That
No,
would
we
need the water, yeah.
we don't have the blessed water yet. We gotta wait a long rest for that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'd do anything significant. Tack would offer to take out the teeth with the jeweler's tools, just because they're a bit more like meticulous.
Smart.
Okay. You go do anything, Desmond, or Indrasa?
I mean,
You
if
stand with him
she'll-
till the end of the
Yeah,
long
she'll
rest,
be
yeah?
with him until, yeah.
Big sloppy kiss sesh, dude.
Oh.
Stop asking questions.
What about Desmond? Anything?
No, I think I'm just gonna stay at the forge with Mr. Hammer. That's just his
Forge
name now to
boy.
me.
Yeah, you two can continue working on your armor. Well, the 8 hours have passed. Night comes. It's now closer to midnight when Morgan, you feel like you've kind of prepared. You ready the spell. It will cost you 25 gold worth of silver that gets consumed.
Okay.
Which I'm happy just to say, just knock off 25 gold because you can
Okay.
spend a portion of the 8 hours doing that, gathering and melting down some silver. But you would have the ceremony spell ready to go.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. Well then, you're prepared. For you, Indrasa, you'd see after the 8 hours is done, he stands in his tent with you and he kind of folds his hands behind his back and he looks at you. I know that you're probably going to find it difficult among your friends for a little bit, but I worry about this path you're on.
What do you mean?
These creatures are elusive and dangerous.
Well, we rather guessed that, dear.
Must you be the first to go and discover this? Is there not some other more military something that might be able to fight for this for you?
Who else would you trust?
None
You're
that I
going
would
to-
trust. But
That's what... Exactly.
you're
Of
putting
course it
yourself
has
in
to
the
be
way of
us.
danger.
Well, we've been all right so far. I think, of course, it was happenstance, right? And we were sort of thrown together because we were all at a party at the same time. But they're all very capable, and I think that if I need to see this through, there's certainly the group of people to see it through.
Then, all I ask is that you are cautious going into whatever you do. And find allies if you need them.
See, I'm always cautious. I'm literally the opposite of my house. I'm the anti-risk.
If that dreadful warden tries to capture you, I would not let it happen. Keep Merlin up to date, for you will not be able to contact me whilst I'm in the abyss.
Yeah, I don't need you to fight my battles for me, but I appreciate it.
I understand. And if you hunt for Lady Arlington, she's dangerous. Before even being a
Are you-
herald, or potential, she was a vampire of great magnitude.
Duly noted.
She will have one of her syllables on her, in some way. If you find it,
Will we... Will we just know it when we see it?
No.
Sort of, just...
you'd have to seek it out.
All right.
He takes your hand. You've done no wrong.
Well, you and I know that, and to us we haven't, but it's definitely been a bit of an adjustment to get used to how other people perceive things.
You were quicker to accept me when Merrin told
certainly
me.
learning.
When Merrin told you of me, you were quicker to accept me. However, even you were concerned at first.
I know.
Good. I'll leave before any of them get suspicious about this ritual. I think I'm going to intervene.
It's probably for the best.
It'd be wrong if I were to pretend to. I should not.
Please,
No, I understand.
absolutely do not.
He leans and kisses you on the head, and leans back, presses his head on yours, and says, "Wish me luck as well."
You know I do. Please be careful.
Off you go, dear.
Walks out of tent.
He steps out after you, claps his hand, and the tent folds up together into like a little small case. And he lifts it. The two guards follow him. And he wanders away from the camp. do you head on over to the group? Where are you going to go and join the ceremony? Because that's where we're going to next.
No.
Okay.
She'll go to her tent.
Then cutting over towards where the ceremony is. What are you all doing? Whoever's involved. Is everyone there? Is anyone sitting out?
I want to watch this. I'm sitting on a stump.
Yeah, we'd all be there for sure.
I'm sitting on a stump.
I just want to see what happens.
Okay. Then you are in the field. And you're filling up a kind of... What are you filling up for water?
The boiler, probably, right?
what
How
do we
big is
have?
this thing?
Probably
I thought
like...
it was like...
Yeah, how big's the ore?
It's like a
Yeah, it was like-
watermelon.
Probably like a basin.
Oh.
Like,
Okay. Yeah, probably fill up like a wash basin, something that's deep enough to submerge it fully.
Okay. Yeah, you can fill that up with water. Pulling pails of water into it. You talk me through how you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then we load it up with salt, dude.
loaded up
Again,
with
would
the muffins,
kneel down
an insane
um,
amount of salt.
and eyes closed would be like just murmuring and holding the symbol of her order, which would begin to glow, and then she would gently lower the symbol into the water until it sank to the bottom, and then cast ceremony.
Okay. With the intention of blessing the water.
Yeah.
The water turns almost this goldeny kind of color and then shimmers with a soft blue that almost kind of like a very fluorescent blue. You can see it, Morgaine, as it's technically not one of the schools, but I'd say because it's just pure radiance, you can kind of almost see it almost like gold kind of seeping into this water. So you now get the full outline of the water just kind of shimmering with this golden kind of coloration. But to others, you're seeing like this fluorescent blue that's just taken over from the gold. Very colorful water.
Do we also want to sort out the if someone's gonna use that ring before we, because that's gonna take attunement.
Oh, attunement, right? Yeah, whoever's going to be potentially dealing with a thing talking to them should wear the ring for sure.
Well, who has protection in the group from something like that? Like innately, Morgaine does, right?
Protection from what?
Like telepathy, mind control shit.
Do I? Let me see. I mean, I can form telepathic bonds, but I don't think I'm necessarily protected from them. I do have protection from evil and good, though.
I am obviously not there, but I do have advantage against being charmed. And I could also, like I said, intellect fortress people, but I'm not there. But I think Morgaine has that too, right?
I have intellect fortress, yes.
Yeah.
We can bolster anyone, but you might be the best person. But you're also not here.
Well, above board, I also know that. I mean, realistically, it's either going to be
Above board, she would come back to. She just was like, it's probably best that I don't just waltz on up. Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you guys doing a ritual? What's that?
I just know that this thing is probably going to do either wisdom saves to people or charisma saves.
Our group has a glaring weakness to
Yeah.
Really bad.
to wisdom saves.
We're not
Like,
great
I'm
at
the
this.
only one- if
What did we
everyone-
do?
if Carlisle's the only one with like more than a 5+.
I
to
got
it.
-1, baby.
So I don't even
Minus
want Desmond,
one?
To be honest, I don't even want Desmond here.
Desmond, come back to camp.
I think
you guys
I'm
can like
mindful
tie
of
me
this.
down. I gotta see
Above
this.
You
board,
need
I
to
think-
go half a mile and 1 feet away.
Yeah. I think
Now,
a Mind
all-
Fortress Indrasa is our play.
At the same time, though, Archdemon Desmond would go hard.
Dude,
True.
Can he be in
imagine what kind of realm he would make.
Yeah.
He does have a soul, right? Because that's what fuels it. So
Yeah. How did we do this?
just
We're all
imagining
bad at
Desmond being
wisdom.
like, guys, I'm the hero here. I'll do it. And it goes super wrong, and he just eats it, and everyone's like, no.
And then later he's like, and then I just ate the gem. Feet kicked up on a
Switches
table,
empty
wine
drink.
glass in hand.
Yes.
One dude every campaign has to eat.
Gotta eat a
the
rock,
gem.
huh?
Built in.
Someone did joke that like Adelward just swoops in, eats the gem, and stumps back out, just like glides away.
Who's that guy?
Was that a penguin?
Fucking Adelwood.
Oh, God bless him.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so our current situation is that all of us, aside from Indrasa, are at the ritual site.
Yes. I imagine,
Okay.
for the sake of V, so you can explain it next week, she's probably also kept back as well. Maybe a little concerned with being infected with the mind or being distracted by something else. I'll leave it up to her. But
So do we want to try and do it with someone who's here, or do we want to go get Indrasa? Is the question, I guess. Then
So, what's the procedure after the water?
you burn it and
the
raise
water-
fire, correct?
Well, we're supposed to
Wait for it to soften, pluck teeth, burn
We
it with
take
fire.
the teeth out.
It's not going to like wake up or do something weird.
with radiant fire.
Whisper.
Once
has
it's
to be
burned
radiant.
Can't just
with
be fire.
radiant fire, the thing inside will try to make a deal or convince whoever is there to fix it, or
Okay, so we should get Indrasa then because she's likely built up a tolerance to that.
sure.
I'll go get him.
Hmm.
Carl did most of the stuff you can help with already here, so he'll make his way back to camp.
yeah, probably only about half a mile away, like you were told. So you head back towards the camp, where they're all none the wiser. They're the evening kind of where people are going to bed now. They're kind of resting up. Some of the guards are taking their night watch, letting you in.
I'll walk up to Indrasa's tent. Indrasa, just so you know, we are about to get underway with things. I understand if after everything's happened today, you want to take it easy. But,
Oh, I thought maybe you were already done.
no.
All right.
I think we're about to start de-teething it now.
All right. I didn't. You can see. Razaris is gone. It seemed a bit awkward if I were to just sort of, come find you. What if I was trying to disrupt it or some? It just seemed to make more sense to stay here.
I understand.
I'm not good at that part. I don't really know.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, it's the same reason I came over here and gave you the out of if you aren't interested in coming, because it says I'll warn you out a little bit. That's also okay.
Oh.
But, I figure with how
Well,
today has gone for a couple of the folks in the party, might be nice to all do this together. Might be meaningful.
But I admit I would quite like to see what happens. If you think I would not be disruptive, of course. I would
Are
like
you
to.
planning on disrupted?
I wasn't planning on it. Who knows what would happen in the moment?
You're gonna be
I'm
disruptive.
joking. All right. Well, yes. She sort of stands up and kind of does the thing, when you're walking out the door and you go to pat your pockets to see if you have your wallet, your phone, and your keys.
Like you're being
And then
slightly
sort of-
rushed out the door.
Yeah. And just kind of realizes what she's doing and is and just sort of turns to kind of follow you.
Okay. All right. And then I assume you're going to head back down there to the field. In which case, you would imagine you'd eventually get down to where they've kind of got the ritual. The water is blessed in the middle of the basin, but the stone remains outside.
Oh, the stone hasn't been put in yet.
No one said it has, as far as I'm aware, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going off of you guys.
Yeah,
whatever
Morgan
you
was
say you
waiting.
want to do.
Sure. As soon as Morgaine said it was blessed, Tack would put it in the water.
Okay.
Because it needs to be in there for an hour, right?
Yes.
To soften up or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. To soften the gums or
Gross.
You would see it slightly expand in the water. Not much more than it does, but the kind of hardened shell, it's almost raisin-like, and it's kind of its demeanor with like almost wrinkles and like where it's almost shrunk together and thinned out, starts to become far more blobby, almost like a water balloon in its kind of shape, and it kind of moves back and forth, almost kind of like pulsating slightly, and the teeth hang off of it a little looser. They droop off the side. Over the course of the hour, it clearly softens and becomes a little bit more water-bound.
So, I offered, but I don't know if like stats wise, I would be the best option to take out the teeth. I don't know. I'm proficient with jeweler's tools, and Joe lets me use charisma with them. So I've got a good bonus to it, but I don't know if we need anything fancy to take these teeth out either.
I don't know. I'm so grossed out by the concept that my brain refuses to actually
Great.
think
So
about it.
Indrasa will not be doing it.
Yeah, it's so gross.
I mean, I can do it if you're like anxious about it.
No, I'm fine with doing it. I didn't want to just be like, and I'll do it with these, my dental tools.
You
If you
should.
have precision tools to point at, I think that's fine. I don't think this needs.
Can you
it
descale
doesn't
them while
seem
you're
like
at
this
it? Like,
part is a very precise process. Like it kind of feels like you can just kind of,
Yank them.
there wasn't a detail that's like you gotta be really careful because if any of the teeth touch, it's gonna blow
touch.
up.
It's like the operation game. If the ring is still on offer, if I'm gonna do it, should I tune to that while you're like this hour and extraction is happening?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, Tech, you're going to start extracting the teeth?
Mm.
You pull one off. Make a charisma saving throw, please.
Son of a bitch.
Well,
Look at his
well,
face.
Fine.
A 27.
You can feel a presence almost drifting each time you pull a tooth off. You hear it whisper into your mind for a second, but you're so focused at the time that you almost resist against it. You would know it was there, and you definitely resisted it after the first tooth was pulled off.
Is there any like visual that Tack makes like to convey that?
I
to
think
anyone
Tack
else?
would say something. It would be kind of like, when somebody's really focusing on what they're doing, but they're kind of like intermittently trying to get a point across.
Mm-hmm.
I think while like really focused in and pulling the teeth out, they would say there's something that's trying to mess with me. I think. Yank.
But you feel all right?
I just need to focus.
Do you want us to help? Do you want us to cast Intellect Fortress? I'll help
I think it'd be good to get
on
that.
more saves.
I can tell
Yeah.
you there are about 50 teeth.
Fuck me. Sorry.
And
How often am I
Jesus
going to have to?
every
How
5.
often-
Did you make 5-0?
Every 5.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Morgaine will say, hold still, and is going to cast Intellect Fortress on
Okay.
Tack.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
So what does that get for me? I can't remember.
Advantage.
You get
Let-
advantage
I
on
see.
int wisdom and
Yeah.
charisma.
Advantage on mental saves.
Okay.
I'm also Carlisle is going to convey help, not to provide advantage, but because of an additional effect I can give to that, where for the next 10 minutes, any wisdom, intelligence, or charisma saving throw you fail, you can add my medical dice to it, which in this case, I'm going to make a D12 with
Okay.
bash ability.
Okay. A good use of it. Okay. You pluck the first 5 easily, resisting whatever's trying to tempt you.
Okay.
The charisma save, please.
17.
17. Is it every save that they can add a d12 to?
It's if they
Yeah,
fail
it's-
it. So if they know they failed it.
You
I'm
failed it.
sorry. Oh, shit.
Oh, good
17 fails.
lord.
You can add a d12.
Oh, 1.
You hear
Bro.
the voice enter into your mind.
I should never roll anything.
You could be great. Once you've taken the teeth. And it kind of fades, but you feel this kind of inkling for a moment. This is what I'll tell you now. This is a majority test. If you fail the majority of these, you lose. If you
Okay.
succeed the majority, you win. It's now 1-1.
Okay.
I can continue to loop that for another quite a few more of those buffs. They won't be as large of a dice roll, but I can
Okay.
convey that again.
Okay. Let's do the next 5.
The next 5.
A 20.
A 20 is just a failure.
Fuck. I need a 21 or higher.
You can use one of my surgical dice again.
You need 21 or higher.
Can you inspire your own self?
Yeah, I think so.
I allow it, yeah.
Can we get like
Yeah.
a guidance? Or is
Guidance
guys
isn't
just
for saves. We need
watching,
bless.
bro?
We need bless. You can't
It's
guidance
Yes,
a
bless.
save.
Guidance wouldn't
Okay,
work for it. It's
saving
an
throw.
ability check. You need bless.
I had to get rid of bless for ceremony.
Is it a D12 again?
Damn it.
Yes. Yes, the DC
Okay,
is
so it's
21.
1 in-
What are
No,
these
no, no.
rolls?
It's a D8 anyways, but you would have won regardless. So
Right.
It's
Yeah,
1
that's
in
fair.
Oh,
2.
okay. Yeah, you have 2 successes.
Okay.
Bro.
Keep plucking. Ignore the next one.
Nat 20.
That 20 removes 10. That gives you 2 successes. You manage to push through the next bit quickly and efficiently to a point where you resist it more. So that means you are now on 4 successes, 1 failure.
Okay, good. Just another one of those.
21. That's
5
it, right?
success. You have 1 more because there is like if that you redraw. So you have 5 successes, 1 loss.
Okay. 19.
Is not sufficient.
I will flash of
so
genius
it's-
that one
okay.
to add 4.
Moving you into the 6th of the 10 majority. There's a moment where you almost put away, but Desmond's support helps you do it. The next teeth won't matter
I'm so
because
far
it won't
back.
get through
You
to
got
you.
this. Don't listen.
Yeah, there's a moment you hear the whistle go
Got
to your
that guy.
mind, and that just distracts you enough that you manage to carry on.
You're like, how far away is he?
But you would technically succeed this checks now. The last few doesn't even matter if he gets through or not. To your mind, as your mind is too strong, you're too going to push through. And by the end of de-teething it, you have this kind of bulbous, just sack. It's almost like the gums inside a mouth that have been de-teethed. Slight holes and gaps where it's kind of being ran around, but mushy, like kind of little, kind of almost got the texture of like slightly rotten fruit. But you now have this kind of just bulbous form.
I think the Tack probably has a little bit of sweat and steps back and just like drops the tools like, I don't ever want to touch that thing again.
So, given how it was affecting Tack, and it seems like Tack was actually pretty well suited to it, all things considered, it may be the case that Tack or Morgaine should one be using that ring, everyone else here
Yes.
should be getting more distance from this thing for the next part.
Can certainly do that.
All right, who wants to be tied up to a tree?
The second
Hold
that
up.
thing whispers to me, I'm gonna get real hungry. I'm telling you.
Hold out. Ring. I mean, we can help a bit, as we said. Wants to try it?
I have quite a lot on my plate already.
If
Unless you guys actually need me to do it above board.
huh?
Unless people actually need me to do it above board.
I mean, it's become increasingly obvious as of what just happened that this is going to be a charisma situation,
Yeah.
and there's only 2 people that can do that.
Yeah,
in
I
this
think Tack would sigh, say, if it's more of that, I can do it. I just might need help.
If it
More
becomes
help.
too much, we can swap.
Would it? I was just wondering, what if one of us could sort of telepathically communicate with you, right? And just sort of, if that might help sort of bolster your resolve a bit. I don't know if something else is trying to whisper at you. But of course, if you have the ring.
I'll try with the ring.
Right, this one we tried without the ring, so perhaps this would go better for you.
And I do whatever this thing is in my mind. If it gets in too deep, I might have help.
All right.
So I guess I'll Tack will take the ring back. How long does it take to attune?
10 minutes. Or an hour. Let me double check.
I never remember.
I think it's an hour.
I think it's an hour because you do it over the course
This
of
thing is
short
gonna
rest.
be like a
But
raisin.
that gives Carlisle time to start
Yes, that's an
fastening
hour.
Desmond to a tree.
You do have the option to take up a perimeter position, Desmond, and make sure no one suddenly comes into this area and starts running for it as well. If
I mean,
no
I
one-
really want to see what happens still.
Okay.
What if it's cool?
It's the knots harder.
What if it's cool?
Now, you're
Spoken
gonna
like a
need to
true
give me any
teen.
Knives or anything that you might have to cut this, because that's gonna I kind of do want your arms usable just in case you need to do something. But don't want you to be
Probably
able to
take my my turret buddy. We have this like mental link. Maybe tie him up too on like a bush.
I can
High up the
I
turret.
can do that.
I think Indrasa would, while Tack is attuning, sort of awkwardly approach Morgaine. I have a thought, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe you might know a bit more.
Yes.
If things start to go quite wrong, I don't know really if it would try to manifest itself separately from Tack or through Tack, but I'm wondering if I were to try to banish, if that might, I don't know, if there's sort of 2 entities in one space, it feels like Tack would just sort of maybe harmlessly go away for a minute and come back, and perhaps the other half might stay in the abyss. It's just a thought. Do you know it much about banishing?
Not really, no.
Right, well.
What about your partner? Do they not know? Are they still here?
No, dear. He left. No, he didn't. He sort of said that all this was theory. And this was sort of his best guess as to how it would be destroyed and happen, but he'd never really seen it done. They didn't. I suppose I'll just be ready. Right.
As will I.
Just sort of nods.
Okay. You have it detoothed? What would you like to do?
So
do you have? Sorry.
no, it's okay. Do we have a way to create radiant fire? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, great.
I can also shoot. I can make my force spells radiant if I need to.
Do we have the ability to give Intellect Fortress to multiple people? Because if I'm within 30 feet and I am not like under something's thrall, I can provide pretty significant save buffs to everyone around me.
Okay.
I can put it one person, and Indrasa can put it one person, and then I can also summon bonfire as a cantrip, and then ceremony it.
Okay, because I was gonna
radiant
tie
fire.
myself to a tree that was within 30 feet of this happening.
I love this.
If we want to have a banish in the back pocket, I would need to be 30 feet away as well, but I can be tied up to a tree and banish. I don't need to you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, as Carlisle's fastening Desmond to this, he's also remembering that both of these, both the casters that he would be fastening to these trees, have ways to just vortex warp each other.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Situation.
Wait a minute.
So halfway through the first, putting Desmond on the thing, it's like, are you sure you don't want to make sure the perimeter is secure?
I mean, as long as my hands are pinned down real tight, I need to wave my hands a certain way to get out of here. With any
Move
spells.
your hand over, and I was gonna pull the rope back.
Literally
push his
hog tie
hands
him,
in. Indrasa, have you picked out a nice tree yet, or do you want me to choose for you?
I have to say, dear, I've never really sort of tied anyone to a tree. They all sort of look much of a muchness to me.
Well, I'm asking more if there's a distance you want to be from the.
Oh, right. But I suppose I should. I asked Morgaine. I feel like probably everyone should know this. My theory was that if things started to go wrong for Tak, I could potentially try to banish, right, Tak and whatever would be trying to possess Tak. And Tak, you'd come back in a minute because you're from here, and the other thing wouldn't. But I would need to be
Where
quite
would I
close
go?
for that. Oh. Well, for a minute, you would be in the astral plane. That's fine.
No, thank you.
For a minute.
My worry is more that of any folk here that are likely the highest risk if they were to, beyond Tak or Morgaine, if they were to suddenly be under this thing's thrall, it would be the folks that can cast a spell, run up, grab the thing, and eat it or take it away, etc. So, while banishment is all good and all, I'm also kind of the mind that the casters here especially should probably be tied up pretty firm if they're going to be watching. Though I am open to other opinions on that.
No, I don't mind that at all. If I'm not going to do that, I can sort of bolster two people then, rather than just the one. Because I can upcast Intellect Fortress at 4th level, and I get an additional person.
Okay.
I'm fine with there being a last ditch effort to make sure no one eats this thing or does something stupid. I don't see myself being comfortable with the idea of being zapped to another plane, but
the way I see it right now, this is a 2-person job with quite a couple of folks on trees as moral support. It's the best anyone's really going to be able to do for you out there.
where are we saying V is?
Well, excuse her from the scenario. I'll talk to Bree about like why she might stay back.
I think that. Okay. I mean, I would have assumed that if it's something that Bree would have been down with, Carlisle would have probably been like, "Hey, make sure no one comes into this place because V would be able to stop anyone from coming into this place."
Also works, yeah. So she'd be on guard duty. She is actually on guard duty. Okay. So how close is everyone?
Carlisle will be 30 feet away once he's fastened everyone else where they want to be. He will have also fastened himself, and his hands would be free, but he would have tossed away any knife he had to like free himself from this easily. It would take him probably multiple actions to undo his.
Okay.
Fine.
Let me just check the distance on something.
Mm-hmm. Distance will matter.
Shit.
And the last thing before Carlisle would do that is he would convey a help action to both Tack and Morgaine, which would give them that D8 to add to any failed saves while they're out.
Okay.
Okay.
If we think there's a potential of needing to like counterspell something, I would have to be 60 feet away. Otherwise, she would be farther than that. She'd be in that sort of, 90 to 120 feet range.
Well, just for clarity, since it was my intention with the trees, is that your arms would be bound.
We want to make sure we can't do somatic things.
Because otherwise people would be able to vortex warp or teleport and then fuck up the whole thing possibly.
And eat the gummy.
Controlled. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you're basically casters or spectators unless you have a somatic spell or a verbal spell that you have that's helpful.
I don't have any.
It's just too risky.
So just to go through everyone, just so we'll keep it moving. Tack, where are you? You're going to be the one doing the thing?
I'm going to try to be the one, doing the ritual, hopefully engaging the most with this thing.
Okay. Morgaine.
I'm not tied to anything, am I?
You're not tied.
No.
Carlisle will be assuming that you two are the ones.
Well, Morgaine, I need to perform ceremony on the bonfire.
Right.
Morgaine's probably got, like, the sticks.
You're burning it. You're burning the thing, and I'm ritualing the thing, I guess.
Well, am I burning it? I don't think I am burning it. I thought Indrasa was burning it because she has resistance. But I can burn it if needed.
You're the helper, champ.
I'm helping. I'm the helper.
I can from a distance, but I would, if like being tied up won't help that. Because I can make my spells that do force damage deal radiant damage instead.
It'd have to be vocal ones right now if you want. Otherwise, your hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think what Sam thought was happening is Morgaine creates bonfire, casts ceremony, and then gets the fuck out of there. And then I engage with this. I drop it on the fire, correct?
Well, I thought Indrasa was
my thoughts are that Morgaine and Tack both need to be there because if one of them loses it, then the other one is there to stop.
There would need at least two.
There would need to be two people unbound in this situation because if there isn't, then if you just lose it, then it's over. Yeah. So there needs to be two people, or there's no path forward. I feel like.
Right.
Who has Intellect Fortress on them?
I'm casting it on Tack.
And I can cast it on two people.
Because I would say I would like it on Carlisle for the sake of me being able to convey advantage.
If Indrasa wants to cast it on Carlisle and
or like buffs to saves.
Morgaine, then we would have everyone who needed it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, you are going to be casting Create Bonfire, then Ceremony to turn it into Blessed Fire.
Yes.
And then what is your plan afterwards? You specifically, Morgan.
In case something goes wrong with TAC, Morgaine's going to be present and available, but I think Morgaine will attempt to just meditate the influence away.
Okay.
Here's my concern. Everyone else wants 2 people here, but that's 2 people making dice rolls. I feel like so, but I don't know. If we're having like Fortress, I should be okay.
I mean,
it's a lot better.
Yeah, I mean it's fair, right? Like agreed.
And everyone else is tied to a tree. That
it's
sounds
gonna be
terrible.
really bad if we're all tied to the tree and TAC goes down. Like that's going to be embarrassing.
I'll create the radiant fire, the ceremony, and then I will assist.
Okay.
I will assist TAC. And if TAC ends up like taking too much mental damage, Morgaine will step in to finish the ceremony.
Okay. Indrasa and Desmond, you are both tied up to trees. How far away?
I'm 30 feet away because there's one thing I could do to still help, but
Okay.
I have to be within 30 feet.
Indrasa.
Can't harm.
90.
Okay. Carla, how far away?
Carlisle's 30.
Okay. Then, Morgaine, if you are ready, you tell me when you start the ritual.
Have we done the teeth?
Yep.
Teeth are done.
Okay, yeah. Morgaine
It's just a weird little gumball now.
How long does ceremony take
so
to
gross.
cast?
It's ritual, so you can
It's
do
10
it with
minutes,
that.
right?
Yes.
Oh, it's 1 hour.
Well, no, sorry,
casting
it's
time.
1 hour plus 10 minutes on top of that if you want to do ritual.
So,
You
Morgaine
could have
would
been doing that during the...
Yeah, she would have been doing it during, and so it would take her 10 minutes basically. Yeah, same thing. She'll like retrieve the holy symbol. I'm gonna cast Create Bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
So that would fill a 5-foot cube, so it's a pretty big bonfire. And then she would reach in to the flames with the Ankh casting ceremony, so the flames would look like they were going to burn her, but then they wouldn't.
Yeah.
And they would change color.
See a
and then
shimmering, glowing blue.
she would step back a few feet and turn to TAC and nod.
As they're doing that, Indrasa's going to use Distorted Self to her celestial form. Just in case.
Okay.
TAC will approach with the gumball and toss it onto the bonfire.
Okay. And the moment you start burning with it, we'll go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back to you in a minute.
Rat.
Mother.
We'll see what happens afterwards. All right, go get yourselves drinks and whatnot. We'll be back in 5 with a continuation of episode 42. So I guess see you guys soon. Okay, chat. Just waiting for everyone to get back. Okay. Just going to give them a minute, chat, just because we are on a pretty significant point. Let me say thank you quickly to Today Tree for the 10 months. Thank you very much. Bebop Crew for the 4 months. And Nagasak. Is it Nagasax? Thank you so much for the Prime. Okay, still just waiting for people to get back to the seats, chat. We can't really start without them. Because it is a group affair. How long does the session last? 30 minutes from now is kind of our cut-off point, usually for like the 3-hour mark, then an hour and 30 if we went for the 4-hour mark. But because it's because we're 1 down, I'd probably aim closer to 3. We'll see. Depends what they do. Depends what they do. Okay, I think they're starting to come back, so I'll let them know. Alright, I'm going to start closing off the chat and we'll get into the episode. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Hey. We left off right when we were doing the ritual. So, Tack.
Yep.
You place your hands, and you can feel no heat. There's heat emanating off the flames, but it's not uncomfortable, not for being this close to the flames. It almost wraps around your hands. But the moment you put this form over the fire, you can feel it's trying to pull away. And you have to hold it in place. This is not a strength saving throw because it's small enough for you to hold. But you put there. And the moment you do, you see your light, you see your ring glow and flash like something is trying to invade your mind, but is being prevented by the ring. And you hold it there. And it begins burning. And you see it writhing around, changing forms, kind of pulsating against your fingers, but you're just holding it down against the bonfire. And when it sees it can't get through to you, because you will be immune to the effects now. Very good use of the ring. It starts aiming towards anyone close by. Meaning Morgaine, Carlisle, and Desmond. Can I get charisma saving throws, please? You are too far away, Indrasa.
I am going to use Fortune of the Maid to raise that to a 21.
Okay. You got 21.
Oh, that's huge.
Sam, you're muted.
Sorry, I was gonna say I didn't have the window open. I just heard the boop, and then I heard Tamari really go, and I'm gonna use, and I knew you'd fucked up.
I fucked up. I'm fine.
He's got it. You said charisma save?
Charisma saving throw, please.
Okay.
No, don't leave.
27.
I'm tied up no matter what happens.
Force against it, Morgaine.
I'll add 4 with Flash of Genius.
Okay,
21.
this flash of kind of mental energy tries to enter all of you, and you all resist. You can hear its voice trying to almost ease into your minds, and you all resist against it. because you all resisted and it has no influence, its first round was wasted on trying to get through to Tack. Its second round on all of you. A third round goes by. When the fourth one comes, it emanates another burst of mental energy trying to get through to everyone. Another charisma save, please. As you're just seeing portions of it now melting and breaking down, dripping off like blood just seeping. Well, it's not blood. It's this almost... It looks like bleeding gums. You all fight back against it on the second one, or the second burst of it. Morgaine, you're fine. You hold back against it. You can feel this creature's trying to get through to you. But Desmond and Carlisle.
Hey man, you getting hungry?
You immediately
Jack, run.
hear the mind of this creature. As you fall into being charmed. Both of you are under its control. And in your mind you hear, consume. I'm going to roll initiative. Oh, I want you guys to roll initiative for me, please. We're going to be doing this theater of the mind, but you are going to be going in order because right now, I'll write it down physically for you guys. You can see the initiative menu, right? Do this. Can you see it on the screen? The initiative thing. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When the how low they rolled, I'll tell you, chat. Carlisle rolled a 4, and Desmond rolled a 6.
Desmond gave me all of his stuff to cut himself.
I'm like so tied up right now. I can't cast a single spell.
Carlisle tossed away anything he could use to cut his own bindings as well. Okay, we've got.
You're tied up, right?
Tied up my little turret.
Yeah, Carlisle tied himself up with like extra care and then threw away anything he could use to cut himself free.
Okay. In which case, Desmond, to kick off straight away from you, your mind gets infested. You fail the saving throw, and I'm going to put the some mores on the one as well, and it is going to go on a flat 20, which technically means it won't be your turn yet. It would have gone round to Tack. So Tack, you're fine. Is there anything you want to do? You just see as it's clearly emanating out and affecting your friends. You can tell when it's kind of like vibrating out.
I think Tack is like going into this was so nervous about making sure that it got done that they're just gonna believe in the rest of the team, whatever is going on with them.
Okay.
And my job is to hold this thing in the fire, so I'm fully focused on that.
Okay. Indrasa, you doing anything from your position?
So I can tell that they're starting to like struggle and whatever, right? I can see that.
You're far enough away, but you can see them kind of writhing.
Sure. Okay. What do you think, like, the trees, how are they around the area? Like, are there trees?
There's not many trees, because you guys are in a field.
To each other?
No, you're in a field.
So their trees are pretty far away from each other, is what I'm asking.
Oh, their ones against each other. They're probably quite close together, because I imagine this is the edge of a field, so you're probably on those trees that kind of, like, separate two fields. More so than you are in like a singular trees just scattered around. So yeah, they're probably pretty close to each other.
I think if I see people start to wiggle and I realize that nothing happened to me, if there's a possibility of lining this up, she would... as quietly as she can to not draw notice, I suppose. She would Blessing of the Shadowfell out of the tree.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And move so that she is about 30 feet away. If the trees are like this, if not, she's gonna stay put. But if the trees that they are on are within 30 feet of each other, she would try to position herself so that she could rhymes binding ice, so that they're also stuck with ice formations and can't get out, and then back up again.
Yeah, they're close to each other, because the way to picture is fields.
Yeah.
A lot of fields, the way I picture is like English fields, right? A field often has like trees separating the other field, so they're kind of in a line of trees there. You're probably on the far end.
Like a spattering of trees.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like it's
like
so their trees are probably
can...
quite close together. Are you, because you just have to be very specific here, because we're doing theater of the mind. This ritual's happening here in the center of the field. They're 30 feet away. I imagine you're 90 feet down here, right? Like on the far end of those trees. If you're going to be going 30 feet, are you going closer to the ritual? Are you going closer to like diagonally behind them? So you're still somewhat different distance from the ritual?
She's not risky, right? She was just telling Razaris, like, she's gonna try to stay back. So if there's a way that she can kind of like bamf herself 30 feet away from the tree and then move 30 feet whilst keeping herself what she can see is like that far away.
You can how close do you have to be for rhymes binding ice?
30. It's a 30-foot cone.
Okay. You're gonna be within 60 feet of the ritual. Because they're 30 feet away from the ritual, and then another 30 feet.
No, then she wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
she wouldn't do it. No, she wouldn't. She would wait and see what happens next then.
Okay. Yep. Then, Carlisle, you are now binded on a tree, or bound, I should say. The escape for this is a athletics check. It's a the way rope is written in the new book is you're considered grappled, incapacitated, or restrained with it. So how much of yourself did you bind up? As much as you could?
Carlisle would have known that if anyone would know how to undo the knots he tied himself up with, it would be himself. So I think he would have taken extra care to tie it in such a way that it would be difficult to undo. I'm sure there are knots that are more difficult to untie deliberately.
Smart.
Like so.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check. You're gonna be setting your own DC.
Okay, I like that. That's
23.
a 23. I'd have to nat 20 in athletics check to break my.
Well, here's the thing. The other portion of rope says escaping the rope requires the creature to... So you can break out of a rope, burst it, with a 20 athletics check, but the last line is escaping the rope requires the creature to make a successful DC 15 dexterity acrobatics check as an action. Your DC is 23. So your action can be spent doing an acrobatics check, and you have to beat a 23.
Okay. It's an 18.
Oh,
okay.
Thank God.
You're trying to work it out, and you're thinking,
can roll.
like,
this is so confusing.
Yeah.
With fucking reliable talent.
It's lucky at the moment because you tied this rope in a way that you knew that would be difficult for you to break out of it, but that's such a hard thing for you to do in general because you know how you've trained to break out of ropes. So you have made it awkward enough that right now this voice is telling you to do it, and you're thinking, whatever you rationalize this as, wait. If we destroy this, we might fail. We might lose this whole thing. This is so bad. I can do the power. I can eat this. If I consume this, we can work it out later. I know that I'm responsible. So you start working out, trying to break out of your rope, but you don't break out. Morgaine, you felt the ripple, but you didn't get affected by it. You see those two affected. What do you want to do?
Morgaine will stay where she is, but she'll turn attack and say, "If they break free, I need you to run. I'll take over."
I'm not gonna just run. I can help. I'll figure something out.
I have a plan, but that plan requires that I can't protect your mind. So that's why I need you to get away.
I understand.
Okay.
Joe, I have a just to double check since we're moving through this. There's no save at the end of turns to break from this charm.
Not currently, no.
Okay.
You'll see why. Desmond.
The thing's just in the fire, correct? Like, Tack isn't holding it or anything?
Tack's holding it in the fire.
I am holding
That's
it.
holding it.
Okay.
I'm holding it in the fire and it's actively trying to get away, but Joe said it's not. It's
not strong enough. It's kind of like
It's just an egg.
yeah, it's trying to roll itself away from it, essentially.
So gross.
The way to pitch this is right now, what you're holding is a layer of the abyss, which I describe like frog spawn. So you imagine you've got like a large enough one like that. Every single one of the demons that belongs to the abyss right now is in there. As tiny versions of themselves.
Make it like
Sorry,
a
sorry, not that belongs to the abyss. That belongs to the Twisted Maws. So there's countless well, not countless, probably thousands of demons inside there and their leader. So they're almost trying to push their own realm away.
In that case, Morgane would like tap shot tack and then place her foot on the orb and say, "I'll stay here, figure out a way to wake them up." And then it's gonna take over holding the orb in the fire.
You can take over. Desmond, how would you like to try and break out?
Hey, Tack, are you gonna finish that? That looks good.
Oh God. Okay.
You don't even eat.
You said it was either acrobatics or athletics, yeah?
Yes.
Both of those are not my strong suit, so
Whatever's stronger, you'd probably rationalize as
I
being your
don't
better
believe in you.
it's either a 0 or a +2, and acrobatics would be against his sleight of hand check, which can be an absurd number. So getting 20 on strength might be easier, right?
Yeah.
He has a plus
Roll
13
what he
sleight
has
of
to
hand.
beat
Yeah.
first.
Sorry?
Do you want me to roll what he has to beat first? I guess it doesn't matter.
That would also
because the
how he
minimum
tied
would
it.
be a 23 no matter what, which you'd have to nat 20 to beat.
I would say 23
Yeah.
will set as the standard one. So yeah, you're going to have to nat 20 to beat this, essentially.
I'm gonna bust out of these. It's 8.
Yeah, you can break
just
these
wait.
chains.
I'm gonna break these.
But when it comes back to the turn, you both regain yourselves. So it only lasts until its turn.
Okay, that's good.
Morgane, you're the one holding it, right?
Yeah.
It is going to focus fire to you, and it's going to focus all of its energy towards you, giving you disadvantage to the charisma saving throw. If you have advantage, you'll
even.
cancel it. Yeah, so this will be an
Yeah.
even charisma saving throw.
Okay, it's even.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
we're good.
Am I making a save, or is
Yes,
that
please.
it's been its turn? fucking
Charisma
me?
saving throw.
And
Okay, so you have my D8.
I also
And-
have my birthday dice or my human feet.
Oh yeah.
That's
So I'll
true. If
just
you'd like to
your
re-roll it, you
emergency.
can.
Okay,
Wait,
that's
why is
3
it-
more.
So
Is it
13.
Plus a
I'll,
D8.
I'll re-roll it one more time.
We'll do inspiration,
With my-
okay?
Oh, your human
Yeah.
thing.
There we go.
That's better.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you resist against it. You keep holding back. You feel like trying to invade into your mind. Okay. Is anyone doing anything during your turns?
I can't do nothing.
So are
I'm gonna try to break out again just to prove myself, you know?
Sure.
Wait, can I get out of this?
not-
I just want to know.
Did you say they're not affected anymore?
No, only lasts until its turn.
No, we're
Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a free action, Indrasa is going to yell out, "Is everyone all right? That looked a bit much."
Yeah, just lost myself for a second there, but the ropes held.
Right.
I can tell you at this stage, the DC of the charisma save is lowering as it is currently dying. It is now a 19.
Let's go, baby.
Okay.
You got this.
So, going around to your turn, Desmond, go ahead and give me the athletics check. You wanted to try and break out.
No.
Okay, no, dude, okay.
Desmond, are you all right?
If he's of mind, is he still trying to break out?
That's what he just said. If he's just trolling. He's just trolling.
Is Desmond griefing?
Is this briefing us?
I think if
This feels
the
like a
actor
troll,
looked like he was
Desmond.
trying to get out, Tacky
Yeah.
command him not to.
Okay. Then on the Twisted Moore's turn, seeing the resilience you held, it does another AoE one. everyone within 60 feet. Again, except for Tack, because you do have the Ring of Mind
Is
shielding
this
on.
back to advantage again? Sorry.
Yes, you're back to your previous one because it's doing its less focused one.
Oh.
That's a 21 for
so-
Carlisle. You're fine.
Sam, I can get you a second D8 on top of it with a second ability. I can get you two. I can get you a.
I can bardic
You
inspiration.
roll your one as well, Desmond, please.
But roll
yeah.
your first D8 first, so I know how far you are. Okay.
Okay, Desmond's back under control too.
Desmond.
I could get out.
I rolled a 19, so I meet it.
Yes, you meet. So you beat.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yep, he beats.
So it's just Desmond.
So Desmond is under the control this time. If you want to do anything, you can. Otherwise, it's writhing in your hands. You can feel it weakening. You can see it's almost like bleeding gums coming through. As you can see the layer is slowly kind of diminishing. It's actually shrinking in your hands. Okay, does anyone want to do anything before we get to Desmond's turn?
Desmond, knock it off.
What? This is not the time for jokes.
Tack would try like the actual command spell.
You're going to do a command beforehand or prepare it?
If he was under,
He's under.
I would. Yeah, I would see if command could disrupt it or even work at all.
Yeah.
Just tell me
Okay.
to halt and
just
go
do
for-
halt. Yeah,
go for the
and try to
command
see if
spell.
he'll stop. Okay.
Okay.
It's wisdom DC 16.
That's it,
Wisdom.
Desmond.
0.
Yeah, Desmond. In your
What
mind,
a
you're
mess.
hungry, but you're kind of like it's almost like the childish mind in you. You've just heard adults say stop, and you've kind of gone, diminished down. You'd spend your turn doing nothing.
Right.
Do I see any like weakness on this orb, in the sense of like more radiant damage would speed up this process, or is it like?
It's a ritual, so it's just diminishing from the radiant fire in
Okay.
general.
So I just have to let it play out.
Yep. The DC now
Okay.
drops down to a 17 for round 7.
Let's go, baby.
And it shoots out its area again. It's going to try and get everyone again for this one.
I'm rolling so bad though.
At this point, Indrasa's like, I'm fine back here.
17 is meat. 24, you're good, Morgaine. Desmond's back
Desmond
under.
What the fuck, Desmond?
Pull it together.
Come on,
Jesus,
man.
I haven't eaten in years.
Consistently, it keeps just racking into Desmond's mind. And there would be an excitement to it, but it realizes Desmond is so easily trapped there.
Is
What's
Tack
bored?
out of range?
Tack has Ring of Mind shielding, so Tack doesn't need to do it.
Oh,
it's all
immune,
telepathic. Yeah. Does anyone do anything to stop Desmond?
What's there to do?
I think if he's
I
just...
know. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I think Indrasa stays where she's at if he's not able to get out. Like I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like if it looks like he's just stuck.
Yeah.
Do you doubt
Yeah.
me?
I think Tack knows now that command can work, and we'll just kind of be ready to command if it looks like
Yeah.
he's getting anywhere. You know?
Could I ready a sort of? Can I ready like a bonus action? Can I ready?
You can only ready an
blessing
action.
of the shit? Okay.
Any action.
Yep. In which case, we'll get around to Desmond's turn. And Desmond, do you want to make the athletics check again, please?
Check this out. 15. I'm getting closer.
You feel
The rope
yourself
is creaking.
just really push, and you're gonna break through it.
Just realized that we all were just like, we're not gonna do anything because he's not gonna get out. That was just like our whole conversation. Like, nah, he's fine.
Round 8, the DC drops down to 15. The Nemours weakening. You can see it bleeding across your fingers now, Morgaine, as you are shrinking it down. And the entirety of the layer is starting to break apart. It's going to double down and focus on you to try and give you disadvantage on the roll, but it is a 15 DC now. So Morgaine,
Let's go,
please.
baby.
12,
At the
Bardic
dice,
inspo,
bro.
or yeah.
15.
It's
Well,
exactly
there's
what
a
you needed.
15 on the dot.
It would go round to round 9. The DC is now reduced down to a 13. It's going to double down focus on Morgaine. You're the closest one to it.
18.
You're fine. And now
How
you can
much you get
see
for focusing on Desmond.
yeah. It is now a DC of 11. weakened in your hands. You feel this layer about to collapse and break apart. You're about to end the lives of thousands of demons. And if you just hold it for 6 more seconds, that's all you need to do. As it unleashes, specifically at you, Morgaine, it unleashes straight towards you. One last mind burst to try and get you to consume this last bit of its orb. Please,
Okay,
one last
so
charisma save. It's at disadvantage technically, but you have
20.
Oh, come on.
and you hold back. And you can hear the voice go, "Good sir, good sir, good sir," as you kind of press it together, and you hear the and suddenly, like, from its kind of core, it just like twists, magic starts seeping out, slamming against the floor around you, baking little burns on the ground, but almost the blessed fire almost kind of dissipates any of it, sprays out almost like this kind of like darkened ash as it kind of lands all around you. This acidic kind of field pouring around the area as you hold in your hands the last bit of this layer. It crushes down, going innate into a demonic resin as the Twisted Maws is no more in your hand. End of initiative. You have destroyed an entire layer of the abyss with this ritual. You just hold the resin.
Hot dog.
Dude, if we got EXP per kill.
Yeah, how much XP is that?
Yeah, how
If
much
you
is
did
that?
EXP per kill, we'd end the campaign tomorrow because you guys would just kill everything.
You just killed tens of thousands of
Yeah,
demons.
yeah. Be level
Good
like
ritual,
25.
good ritual. Taxed eyes and face would go back to normal after using the command spell, and we'll walk over to Desmond and help untie him. Sorry.
You know, I was just playing, right? I don't even have a mouth. I couldn't eat that.
Mm.
I was just messing with you guys.
Nice going, everyone.
Quite convincing. I guess we
Untie everybody.
unravel.
Yeah.
And
Amanda, cut me out of this.
Oh. Awkwardly takes a dagger.
Yeah, you can cut them out.
Okay.
Just trying to like. I don't really,
Yeah, it didn't make me
Cuts
feel
out.
safe.
Finds your own dagger, gives it to you so you can help. Cuts your one hand free first. Hey, maybe you can help, dear.
You can also add the demonic resin to your inventory list if you like. It could be used as a crafting mat, or you can dispose of it. It's up to you.
Oh.
It is no longer a layer of the abyss, I can tell you that.
Would any of us have any idea what it could be useful for?
You could make a... give me an Arcana
Would
check.
that be? Arcana.
Right.
I'll give you advantage, Desmond, because you're a crafter.
I make things.
Pippa?
16?
31.
Okay, with 16, you'd realize you can fashion it into several different things. With 31, you'd realize that this could be used as a cornerstone for a ring, for belts, for any like jewelry. It could also be turned into like a hand or hilt of a weapon. It will essentially help infuse whatever item you do with like some sort of demonic nature. Be it resistance to demonic kind, be it kind of a strength against them. It's basically adding a demonic enchantment to an item. Whatever that manifests itself as would be yet to be
Tells
decided
everyone.
by the item you're making. But it basically could be used for pretty much anything that you want to just... Basically, if you make any item and you say, I want to put this as part of the crafting, I will find a way to add on an additional demonic effect. That's what it can be
It
used.
seems quite useful. Right.
I think we go back and sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Are the teeth still there? We should like clean those up. Like I feel like we just shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe they're fine, but also maybe not. We just put the teeth in a bag.
We just like kick it all into like the blessed fire and beat
Yeah,
them
or
with
can we
that
do?
fire.
Will it destroy them?
Yeah, you could burn them away in the fire.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of innate teeth. You could just kick them all into there and just watch as the kind of
Chucks them in one
the
by one,
keratin
see if they
burns
turn
down.
a different color.
Yeah, we can each chuck one in and we can make a wish.
I don't know who's going to be listening to that, but probably no one you want. But you could just toss them all into there, and you can see all of the teeth just meld and burn down, kind of blacken, and get rid of the last remnants of it. But you have technically just destroyed an entire plane of the, not plane, a layer of the abyss today. If you do head back to sleep. You technically can only do one long rest per 24 hours. So you could rather wait until tomorrow and then rest, or you can try and reset your sleeping pattern.
It's like midnight now?
Yes.
Midnight-ish?
Yeah, so you could stay up for one whole day and then go like 6 hours. And then,
it was Morgan who did the long rest, right? The rest of us didn't.
I just chilled.
What, sorry?
It was only Morgan that took a long rest. Everyone else...
Mm-hmm.
Not sure the rest of us deliberately
established
that we were.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd just be them that needs to hang out.
Then Morgan, you're just going to be a bit off-center for a little bit until you have like
I'm long resting again. What the fuck?
You can't long rest twice in 24 hours under the general rules. Otherwise, people can just spam them.
Guys, we have ceremony forever. Anyone want to get married? Let me know.
Forever.
I would probably, no, because otherwise, it comes with complications. It basically,
literally, Paladin is long rest. You can swap out a spell.
Yeah,
so it's fine.
I mean, can Morgan just
Do we have anything
sleep?
time sensitive?
No, I mean, I can just short rest for spell slots. It's not a big deal. I'm fine.
I don't think we have anything time sensitive. I think we can just like see what else was going on in camp. Like,
yeah, that's true.
Check the bounty stuff or whatever other stuff we got.
We deserve a rest day.
Yeah, you can have a rest day.
Come on.
Yeah, you could definitely have a rest day if you just want to reset everyone's schedules and get back to how things are. Just stay up for the next 24 hours for more game, give a spot, and then the rest the kind of just before the next night.
Okay, so we skip the 3rd and now we're on the 4th.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Before we dive,
it's midnight of
hold
the
on,
2nd
before you dive into that, because just in case anyone wants to do something during skip day, yes, that's where you would end up if the next time you've long rest. With that all being kind of said, you would go back to your camp, and take a day to kind of reconvene and work out what you want to do. How do you spend your rest day? Anyone do anything significant, or is it just a case of just more of the same?
Are we back at our camp that was outside of Marigold, or did we tell the camp to start moving and so therefore they moved a little bit?
No, they haven't moved.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone told the camp to move yet.
I think the only thing Carlisle would want to do that would take like a day or two is, you'd probably pull Desmond aside. We've got the ingredients to make more healing potions. So
yeah, I was going to spend today I have
crafting and
5
done.
Yes,
ingredients to make 5 potions.
I think.
Yeah, and I have another 2, so we can make 7.
So we have 7 in total.
You wouldn't be able to make 7 all at once. It does take a little while to make each one. Let me find the tools specifically for each one. I believe. Yes, you can do it.
We established that I could do it with alchemy tools, right? We had
alchemy tools, because it wasn't under the thing. Yeah, that's fine, maybe. But I think
both work together to cut that in time in half, and then I can cut it in half again, so it's a quarter of the time.
Oh, you can do it a quarter of the time?
Yeah.
To make one?
Because I cut it in half, and if 2 people work together, because crafting is man hours, right? So 2 people working.
Yes. Usually you could do 1 potion per day, but if you can cut it into quarter, you can make 4. You can make 4 of those 7 you've got. Because of your skill sets, because you guys are quick. So you can spend most of your day brewing up these potions. A lot of it's not like arduous work. It's like being a chef and having to constantly watch the pot.
Distilling and waiting and...
Yeah, and getting the exact time. So it's one of those things where you do have to spend the day doing it, because if you go away for 20 minutes, you come back and it's kind of overcooked, you can be screwed. So it's kind of it's not the most fun experience, but you can brew up 4 of these potions in a single day. And gather yourself 4 healing potions.
Shayne, do you want to just take all of the reagents off your side, and I'll add 1 to my side then?
Yes, we could do that.
So we have it all in the same place.
Okay.
Do I still have this diamond in my inventory that we haven't used? Or did I just not mark it off? Have we used that for
I don't
anything?
think we've had
I
a
don't
use
think
for
you've used
it.
it.
Is it?
How big is the
Okay.
diamond?
It's a 300 gold one, and I don't really want it. I can't make use of it. Who wants it? Who can make use of it?
Carlisle is our diamond guy.
We don't. Well, Carlisle has no.
Well, he
means
doesn't have
to cast
that.
the spell because that's why he went to
Right.
Commissioning Vanderbilt.
Vanderval, who we didn't get like a. Did Vanderval ever give Carlisle like an ETA on when that'd be done? Because I know Carlisle.
No,
said
he said he's going to go and look into it. Yeah,
Okay.
just be the
I
day
think
before.
he's got to figure out how to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll come
So
back
we
to you
just
with
keep
with a thing for that. Yes. Yeah.
I think I would have I would have someone go into Marigold to the pottery shop we went to and pick up my
Okay. Yeah. Pick
Little
up the
pot.
pot. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. If we
You
have
can
an
get
extra
that.
day.
Oh, also for you as well, Indrasa, because you asked me about this information a little while ago, and I forgot to give it to you about what you saw from Alistair of the Explorers Guild.
Oh, the card guy.
Yes. You would also maybe be able to go back and look at your notes and kind of what you've kind of looked at there and written it finally down, got it all down. Alistair of the Explorers Guild, that he comes from, you had a lot of his notes and whatnot, just to be a refresher, had been slightly destroyed or waterlogged, and you helped dry them off for precipitation, and because of your keen mind, you were able to take in a bunch of the words that you'd seen. So you would have gleaned off of his research. He already told you that he lost the Deck of the Depths, or the Giants of the Deck of the Depths, and he has on him the Deck of Many Disasters. His notes in general. He has some bits about giant lore. You would have learned from his notes that he wrote this all down in kind of diary shorthand and whatnot. He learned that most of the giants were leaving Velreath and heading into the elemental planes. Specifically, the elemental plane of Earth was drawing most of them. But cloud giants far preferred the skies elsewhere. You can see his kind of giant notes are more about him trying to find the cloud giants because he was searching for the Deck of the Depths. You'd also then find a bunch of dealer lore and deck lore. The first thing you'd learn from the dealers portion of it is you'd see his discussion how... he discusses how old the dealer is, like one of the oldest, earliest gods. How the gods are often divided by their age, considering like the oldest ones kind of almost band together a little bit more. And he also plays off the idea that the most powerful ones are rarely the ones who involve themselves in anything substantial, but the dealer does intervene by often just dropping decks in places of the world to see what happens. Another fact you'd learn about the dealer, it's said that the worst deck created by the dealer, the most dangerous one, only has 2 cards in it, one good and one bad, and it's called the Deck of Weal and Woe. And you would also find out the third dealer fact of 4 is the art of deck making is a magic in itself, but most wizards who study it fail it. It's only really warlocks who study under him who are able to create decks. There's almost a magic that he kind of convenes himself and doesn't allow others. And then the other thing that you'd have learned from Alex's notes, technically 2 things I've got here. The Deck of the Depths that he was researching was once a 12-card deck, 6 good cards and 6 bad. It actually spawned from a neutral card called the Deck of Seasons. The card itself was called the Depths, and it created a new deck. It was hypothesized to be made when someone drew the card. It teleported them to the sea, and in their hand was a new deck. And if they made it back to the shore, they'd have a new deck in their hands. He learned the giants had it because he went to meet someone who was going to sell it to him, but came across a rainy road and dropped supplies, and he worked out that it had to be fished up by cloud giants. The man who was going to sell it to him claimed, "I don't want this deck. All it brings is trouble. My friend drew 1 card and began puking water until he created a lake. And you can see he's created a little X, and the lake seems to be, I'll put it on your map. I'll put a little blue X on the map.
We gotta go visit, dude.
Yeah, right.
Barf
Lake,
visit
let's
Deep
go.
Right here. You might be able to see it. It's not too far away from you guys.
Mm,
Wait, I didn't see.
it's a little blue X.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Scenic Barf Lake.
Yeah, I love it.
Gasp.
It wasn't too
Awesome.
far. That's why he was traveling on the road. And the last thing you would see from Alice's notes that you deemed is that he's currently searching for 6 decks. Those decks are the deck of very little, the deck of many marvels, the deck of Benny's things, the deck of lovers' tips, and the deck of many songs. And then finally, his most sought after, which he has no evidence of any idea, it's kind of a legendary deck, or beyond legendary, is the deck of godly things. And that's what you would have got from it. So a bunch of just little information about the decks and the dealers and whatnot. V's not here, otherwise I would have him talk about the beans with her. But anyone else got anything else you guys want whilst you're here for the day off? I know Desmond and Carl are doing it. Morgan and Tak, you doing anything in particular for your day off?
I think Morgan would have been pretty fatigued from the day prior and just kind of chill.
Okay.
Might catch up with Indrasa at some point.
Feel free.
Depending.
Yeah, she's just making notes.
Yeah, Morgan would approach Indrasa's overly large and fancy tent.
It is. Yeah, well, it's it would be like open-ish, like it's not. The flap is open. I don't know, whatever it's called, tent door. Oh, hello, dear.
Hello.
You.
Feel like we should talk.
Yes, that feels probably correct. She puts down her paper and her quill and stuff. Do you want to have a seat?
What my choices for seating?
She's got like a little kind of desk in there with like, like a desk chair and whatever. And then I think she's probably got like a smaller like little, because it's a big tent, but it's not that big, right? Then she's got like 2 little chairs like in a corner, like a little, nook of sorts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I think she would kind of get up and sort of like, put her hand kind of, on your arm to like lead you towards those chairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How about you over here?
What a lovely seat.
Thank you. She just kind of waits patiently.
So yesterday.
Yes.
Yes. I spoke to the others, and it's...
Mm-hmm.
I guess there seems to be an understanding that this was an oath-related issue. It's not that. It's that I have found out that I have had information withheld from me for a long time by everyone I knew, and I felt like opening up to you was taking a leap that would be reciprocated when I shared with you the secrets of my order. And yesterday it felt like I was a fool for doing that.
She nods and then realizes Morgan can't really see that. Yes. I don't think it will come as much of a surprise to you, dear, to know that Troy is so good at reading people. Or maybe I am good at it and I just never do it. I'm not sure which one, but
It's the second one.
I don't... How do I say this? I'm not very good at always considering other people. Well, I was going to say people's feelings, but I probably just mean other people.
Right.
So I apologize for not trying to understand sort of where you were coming from. To me, it was quite clear that there wasn't a conflict, and so it just felt like, well, really, they're never going to meet. It's not really going to come up. Why sort of, make everything a lot in the moment? And then, of course, we found the gem, and then it became a bit more pressing, right? Because we knew something was in there, and we were going to have to deal with that. So it certainly, I realized, it was going to be a moment of reckoning. I thought perhaps that I would be able to choose the time of that reckoning and not have the Razaris just sort of pop in. He knows I hate a pop in. I don't know why he thought that was appropriate. But I do apologize. It was certainly not my intent to alienate you or anyone else whatsoever. I'm not good at people. And I'm sorry for that.
Well, I will say my only experiences with demons are in dark and horrible places, and they've done dark and horrible things. However, my experiences with you have told me that you are somewhat good judge of character, and if you trust him, that's good enough for me. Next time I won't reach for my sword.
It was certainly understandable that you did, dear. He probably would have vanished immediately, but it was still a fair instinct to have. I do quite value you, Sir Morgaine. I think you are quite smart and quite very capable. So it's just odd to... It's odd traveling with people and... And...
No, I agree with you, yes. I never used to travel at all.
Yes.
I'm not very good with directions, you see.
Well, that's... Did you just make a little joke?
That was a joke, yes.
That was quite good.
Right, well, I will leave you to it.
Yes. Yes, all right.
I'm going this way.
I'll stay here.
Okay.
Is it... Nope.
Leave.
I like to think that's how posh people make jokes. Oh, did you just make a little joke? Oh, that was wonderful, darling. What a wonderful joke.
I'll tell one now. Hold on. I also love baked beans from the same energy. Sorry, that wasn't for you.
I would like to cast Sending.
Okay.
Once I'm alone.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to cast Sending to Chris. And I would say, it's me. I wear our face. And I hope you're safe. I need to speak with you in person. Are you home?
You'd hear them back. They say, I'm safe. I'm glad you are too. I'm home. I'd be dying to speak with you as well.
Bolstered by that,
Mm-hmm.
I think they would cast it a second time.
Okay.
To Zonya.
Okay.
And say they would probably, the last one, they were just sitting down,
Mm-hmm.
but this makes them nervous and they would be up, like, sort of pacing. Hey, Zoe. I know you're probably pissed at me. I didn't mean to do this to make your life more complicated. I hope you're safe. That's it.
You'd hear a response. I did not expect to hear from you. But I am pleased you're alive. They still hunt for you. Or me. But they're not close to my plans. Stay vigilant. That's it. Where are you when you do that?
In my tent, I guess.
Okay. There's a slight tap on the tent. Awkward, like they're trying to find a bar to just knock against. And you'd see kind of a head peer into the tent. The half-elf who was in the mountain, Rochelle, her name was, who kept quite quiet when you guys were saving them. She leans her head in and says, "Are you from Songrest?"
Tack, like, pauses, kind of deer in the headlights.
I shouldn't have been eavesdropping, but I thought
come in.
She steps inside and like kind of peers out of the tent and kind of closes it off. I am too.
Do I recognize them? Do I recognize her?
Probably not. They're just a kind of very kind of peasant look to them. They kind of got like just basic like clothes they've probably worn quite a bit.
Yes. Yeah. I'm from Songrest.
I ran away when it happened. I found them. Well, they found me. I've been in the mountain ever since, and I was scared to leave.
Scary. Are you trying to get back, or
is there something to go back to?
I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I know people are still there. I don't know what it's like there though. I haven't been back either.
I want to go back. It was just I have a brother who's there. And last I saw of them, there's a lot of fire. And there was soldiers. And I ran, and I waited at the place we were meant to meet. But the fires dimmed, and the soldiers didn't go away. So I ran away. I didn't go back, but Is that where we're
It's okay.
going?
Not yet, but we might. If you want to go back, if you want to see if it's worth going back, we might get close, if anything.
I'll wait until we're close, because those are bad people that came.
Yeah.
When I went back the first time, just for a little bit, a day, 2. It's like they just claimed our home. Like nothing belonged to us anymore.
It doesn't help that everyone doesn't realize what really happened.
I don't even really know what happened. But everyone acts like it was saved.
It wasn't.
Who did it?
But it's still there. It is still there though. So
Who did it to us?
I can't really say. But we weren't saved.
Well, it's nice to see another survivor. I'm sorry again for dropping ease on you, but I've been wondering if... I don't know. If we do go back... I was going to leave this camp, but then... I'll stay around.
Hmm.
Okay.
You have the safety here at least.
I know. I mean, no one can shout about what you guys are capable of here. There's more people who are joining, like, each day.
We'll try to keep everyone safe. It's our number 1 priority.
I don't know what this campsite's really for. What you're all doing, but... I know that everyone around here wants to help. You just ask us to do anything. Make sure it happens.
Thank you.
Rochelle, by the way.
Tack.
It's
Nice to meet you.
She's going to pause at her kind of short hair and then ties it back up again. And goes, okay. I shouldn't mention song rest though, should I?
Maybe not now.
I look forward to hearing the gemstone singing again. She nods her head and slips out your tent.
Okay.
With that being said, your day of kind of rest and recuperation would come to an end. You'd be able to long rest, regather all of yourselves. But with the morning coming, the Sunforged lighting up the way, what would be your next intention?
Are we going back to Marigold?
I don't think we need to. That's why I just had someone go pick up the thing, right? Just in case
We don't need to
people
get
are
into the
pissed at
vault.
us.
We know what's in there.
We know
So,
it's in there.
I
I think
we're going to Bay of Progress now, probably, right?
we did
or-
talk to in the Glam Glades, the Bastard of Beauty or whatever was like, oh, my friend got away. I think they're in Song Rest. Can you let them know? So we were talking about like, oh, we have to go to the Bay of Progress. Song Rest is not actually like on the way, but is near the area. Like we could go there before we go to the Bay of Progress.
You could do that. I will say it's not near the area though. It is.
Yeah.
It's like next to
Yeah.
Horizon's Rest. Like,
It's
Yeah.
far.
It would
Also,
be genuinely the longest we've ever traveled on foot.
Also-
yeah.
This
I'm just throwing it out there now. We do also have a barf lake to check out. So
And what's-
Yeah, the
There's that.
bar flake is. Oh, that's super high on my priority.
yeah,
That's what-
I've seen postcards
like,
of that place.
think
It's
about the
beautiful.
stories, the
can hit
pictures.
on the way to the bay, dude.
They've got great commemorative T-shirts there. I went to the bar flake and I got this fun.
I'm just saying I have some empty vials that can hold some barf water. Let's go.
Well, then
So
I ask you, are you leaving the bounty in this area behind? I will say the bounty doesn't come with you
Oh
because
shit!
it's
What is the bounty? What if
Oh.
it's super fun and cool? Let's
it's
just know what
Let's
it
ask.
is.
you
if
got
it's
you got
close?
the bounty wording from last time. Let me find it.
Oh yeah.
Which was Boulette Raiders. The locals of Fox's Tail have asked for
yeah.
aid. A Boulette came crashing through their home, which was bad enough, but then a group of goblins and a half-burnt bugbear began attacking village folk.
Oh
And
shit!
they were
It's
calling
right because
after
we could do
someone
2
called
out of
the
3.
Smoker. The Smoker. 2 out of 3 what, sorry?
2 out of the 3 things you need to get the dead fish tattoo. The
Oh,
bugbear, the
that's right, we
goblin,
talked about that, I forgot.
What is that tattoo? I'm like, you guys keep talking
when-
about this.
So when Bree and Dodger and I got together to go over our notes, one of the things that we had
All
written
had
down
notes
about
this
Holt
tattoo.
is that he had a tattoo of a fish on his face, and it's if you killed 3 things, and it was an ogre, a bugbear, and a goblin, right?
Yeah. For some
And
reason,
so-
I rolled really well on knowing what that
Yeah.
tattoo was, and so I had
So-
like detailed notes.
If anyone is like, it would be cool to be in that club and have a fish tattoo, that would knock out 2 of the 3 things that we would need to get a fish tattoo.
I'm gonna be honest
Killing
with
this
you.
hobgoblin.
I completely
is
forgot that
so
too.
high on my priority
What's the
list,
stop?
guys.
What's to stop you just getting the tattoo without killing the thing?
That's
Well,
not
hold on now.
that's
Without the
so
street
unethical. I can't believe you would suggest that.
Stolen Goblin Valor.
cred. Yeah.
It's always hard in this game because like bounties are cool, but like at every point I'm like, man, our shit we have to do today is so much
we-
more important.
I
than
will say this.
Goblin and Goblin.
Do we
Like,
know? Do we know how close it is, and do we know how much they're paying? Because
Yes.
also
Yeah,
I
it's
have to
like a
keep,
weekend
I have to
swing on
keep
the
spending
way.
money for like.
So
Learning
bounties are
scrolls
always
and I'm broke.
bounties are
So,
always going to be in
like-
your location, which is why I say when you move on, the idea is the bounty is gone.
Right.
So it's within like a couple hours walk. It's 1,000 gold for the bounty itself, excluding anything you might find during the bounty. You don't have to do bounties. I'm only giving the warning of it will. If you're like halfway down the road and you go, let's do that bounty now, it's going to be a case of, okay, we've got to travel back 2 weeks, and then by that point it's probably gone.
Right.
So bounties are stationary to the place you are. So if you move on towards the bear progress, you would just be forfeiting the bounty, but you can do that if you wish. There's always going to be more bounties.
I'm not too dead set on this bounty, especially when we've already taken now like a day off in character to like rest. It feels like
I think if there are bounties the next place we go, I want to like I'm broke. from spell scrolls, so,
for a
like, we
while,
got it. We're
it
gonna have
makes
to
more
do
sense
some.
To be like, let's hit some bounties, but like this is the last. We're ready to leave this place to detour now and be like, one more thing. Let's get like $1,000. Like it's I don't know. Now it feels a little bit end of the line kind of deal. We should have probably hit this sooner. So it makes more sense the next time intersperse bounties between our 15 million other things we need to do than at the end, you know?
Okay.
Okay.
So what's your plan? Which way are you heading?
Where's the closest vault?
Bay.
Bay of progress.
Bay
And
is
that's
where
also where
we
we
got
think
the answer.
An
and where
actual
everything-
boy is,
Yeah.
right?
Winks,
I think if
Winks at DM points towards Bay.
yeah, if that's kind of where we're headed, I think as we're
Covers
talking
Desmond's
about it,
ears. Let's go to the
Yeah.
Bay, guy.
I think Indrasa would say to Desmond, like, are you, it makes sense to go there next.
I mean, I prefer. We can go there. I just would prefer to stay hidden as much as we can. I was ordered to be scrapped there. If I get found, what's to stop them
Right.
from?
We're not gonna let you get scrapped. We're the ones that are
No.
gonna
My
stop.
dear Desmond, we're to stop them from.
Right. All of us. 6 of us. You're included.
we'll be sure not to enter any tournaments or anything and get ourselves a high profile out
Do
there.
you know, maybe Tak and Shubal can sort of, make you some sort of disguise?
I would love a cool disguise.
Something
What
very
would you
cool.
like your cool disguise to look like? I bet Shubal would love to make whatever you're thinking.
How about something white and blue?
And in what style?
Cool.
Duh. Come on, Tak. Duh.
The
Actually, no. I already look cool. We should go opposite. So,
Creativity.
like, how about tame then?
Something kind of like frumpy,
Maybe even sort of high class, kind of.
little old fashioned.
Not
Oh,
too high
like with,
class. I don't want people
Like
approaching.
with a
me.
neck kind of frill, like a sort of,
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe a
Ooh.
feather.
Ooh, bit of lace.
I suppose the priority would be to make you look like a different sort of automaton, correct? You want to look like something completely different from what you are.
Preferably, yeah. Especially since someone looked at my model and sort of suspected I was from somewhere, from the Drift and Sparks Guild. So that means they could identify models I'd prefer to completely change
Do you know?
as much as I can.
You'd
Do you know
probably
what
know
to them-
better than anyone, I would bet, on how to make you look less like that model and more like another.
Right. Like, do you find parts or something, or?
I could fashion some parts to switch out. Especially my armor plating is something I could spend an hour or two taking off and replacing with another type. Mainly the face we want to hide with a mask of some sort. The rest can be covered with clothes,
All right.
We can do that.
Then, before setting out, just to look at the map. What direction are you going to the Bear Progress? Bear Progress is all of the section.
Go this
around
way for Barf Lake, and
Yeah,
then
you
we go
have-
here.
Down to Barf Lake. And
We snake on down to Barf Lake.
Yeah, you have a few
for a
options
little
here.
sleepover.
For a little luncheon.
You can
Yeah,
do,
and then
you
we-
can,
and then-
you can do the Bath Lake and through. That works.
I've got a picnic blanket.
You can go through the Chalice Gardens and through. You could go through the long road.
I'm not letting us detour to Barf Lake without a conversation in RP of all of our characters going, yeah, we're going to detour to go to Barf Lake, guys. Let's go to Barf Lake. You can't just...
I absolutely want to go to Barf
ignorance.
Lake.
That's got to happen in character. Otherwise, I would say stopping at Chalice Gardens, if that's like a town or a city of some kind, makes
Who's-
sense.
You've got
Who's
three
the
roads
house in
in.
Chalice Gardens?
The House of Chalice Gardens is.
Is that Vanitas?
I think so, but let me double check. You've got also the long road, which is a bit further west. And then you've got. You could also
The
go
long road
through
is
the
also
kind of.
how to get to Sunrise.
Yes, the long road connects pretty much most of the continent's major places. It's the quickest way to travel
Right.
once you get on it. And it's also where the most traffic comes in. But you can also go off route, go through like places like the Chalice Gardens or through like the mountains down there. A little riskier at points, but also can be a lot quicker. As for the Chalice Gardens, that is because I just got to double check because I have a lot of Halviv. Chalice Gardens, you've met someone from there. It's House Vanitas, yes. You've met some of the folks from there because they were at.
I think Indrasa would say, and maybe not Chalice Gardens. Lord What's His fucking nuts was at the ceremony.
Yes.
So potentially we would like to give the Chalice Gardens a wide berth.
So, due west then to the long road and then south?
Oh, south to the Vomit Lake, you mean?
What do you mean the Vomit Lake?
The lake of, that didn't I tell you about the deck and the
You've not told us
vomit.
about any Vomit Lake.
Oh,
I don't know why we would want to visit a vomit
oh
lake either.
all right.
Is this like a
No,
it's gonna be on the side
Alistair.
of the road and we could
No. Alistair, I read Alistair's notes and he got the deck of the depths from a gentleman who said he didn't want it anymore because his friend threw a card and vomited so much water that it became a lake. Do you want to see? And someone vomited enough water to make a lake. That's quite impressive.
I don't want to question your academic process, but I will say I'm not entirely sure upon you describing this. What we gain from navigating.
But I don't think it
how
would
far
smell.
is that is a long
I don't think it would
distance
smell
south.
like
That's
vomit.
A big detour.
I think
to
it
go
just
to Vomit Lake.
I don't think the lake is vomit. The lake is water. It's just that he vomited out the water. It's not just a lake.
Is he still alive?
Oh, do you know what? He didn't write that part down. I haven't actually talked to him about it. It's just what I saw in his notes.
What are the odds that he would vomit a lake and then say, well, I'm going to stay here? Like, what are the odds? Maybe we've run into him while we're there.
Right. He probably had to rest for quite a bit. That I imagine would take quite a bit out of him.
I wouldn't have a lot of get up and go after all of that. After all that lake.
Well, I feel like at the halfway point, I'd probably die if he made it all the way through a lake.
I mean, do you really have a choice? You know, once you start throwing up, it kind of just keeps coming, doesn't it, until you're finished?
And it was apparently an entire lake's worth of water that he... Anyway, don't draw from that deck.
All right, I want to see the lake now.
I'm curious about the lake, too.
I am somewhat curious.
But, I mean, I don't think we're going to get anything out of it. I think it's more of a story to tell than anything.
Do you know, when we're all done, you know, you could tell your children, I saw the lake of vomit, the vomit lake. It's probably got a better name. I don't think they would have called it that. Probably like New Lake or something. Named it for him, maybe.
So we're going to go towards the vomit lake, and then are we going to go right west over that mountain range there on the map, or where are we going then? Because I feel like we need to have a kind of game plan for the path, unless we're really going to spend a long time at the vomit lake. Because I interpret that as a day, maybe a couple hours, maybe an hour.
Yes, it feels more like an afternoon sort of thing, right? To sort of see the lake and, I don't know, maybe they have attractions there.
Well, in terms of navigation, at least, it looks like if we go directly west from that lake, is looking at map with everyone else, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
It looks like then we could potentially just follow this small river here until we get to the long road, and then we know how to get to lots of places from there.
So is our general end destination of this trek Warm Steps then? Where exactly on the long road near the Bay of Progress are we going?
Indrasa is like,
Bay of Progress seems like a big place. I've not been. That's
I think probably we would have put together some sort of map, right, with all the, like, at the very least, Indrasa would have sketched it from memory from when we were in the vault, in the first vault, to like be like, okay, so we need to go here.
Yeah, I think after Carlisle points out just how massive the Bay of Progress is,
right?
Tak would gesture to Desmond and say, "Where is there anywhere on here that is like the specific place you should not be going, or is it this whole area?"
I would point to the general section. I don't have like an actual map because I've never seen the real one, but I would point to the area that I would be designated, like the home that I was designated to work in, and just avoid, generally try to stay away from this. They would know me and my model, my voice, everything about me the most here.
Where does he point, Joe?
That's up to Shayne. I don't know if that's something that he's even revealed to me. It's up to you where you want to come from.
Is there a map or something I could look at, or?
Yeah, you seeing the actual map on the screen?
Yeah, because the Bay of Progress itself, is it just this entire coast?
Is the Star
Bay of
Clock,
Progress?
Whisper Wind, Sun's Rest, Warm Steps, all around there, yeah.
It's like all around it.
Yep. The bear progress.
I
If I
would
do a little black line goes all the way
think-
around.
Okay.
Including Whisperwind.
I would say Star Clock.
The capital.
Star
Okay.
clocks are no go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay.
good news is don't remember. I don't think the vault's anywhere near that side.
No, well, there's the one right by Whisperwind. But we know this one kind of points.
The one by
is
Whisperwind
where
is the one
we
you
got-
went to.
Yeah.
That's what was right.
So that's right. I wonder if that hunter's still there. Anyway, right. So there's this one is the one we're trying to get to. We could maybe stop in Warm Steps and see, I don't know, at least get our bearings and find out what else is up there.
That makes sense to me.
Warm Steps is where that... Oh wait, did I not tell you this? There's a guild in Warm Steps. It was Baker's Guild. And it's a whole thing. Anyway, they made some bread and it was transforming people into bread. With reality magic. And so anyway, the leader of the guild was arrested and that's all I know about. I asked for some information about guilds in the Bay of Progress. That's what I learned.
Hey, so we'll
Be careful of eating
swing
bread.
down to Vomit Lake, and then we're gonna go to a town that turns
Yes.
people into bread.
I don't
Yes,
have much
dear.
desire to be bred.
No, I don't think
Wow.
I quite like bread, but I don't know that I'd want to be a bread.
How long ago was this? Are we gonna have to worry about bread over there possibly being one of that batch?
Did they say how long ago it was, Joe? And did Holtz know?
It only maybe a few weeks ago. It's just something that's a
It's
new.
so bad.
Yeah.
It's been fairly recent, actually. Holtz was quite proud of himself for getting the information so quickly. So I think
Okay.
we should just,
Skip
be
the
a bit
bread.
wary. Yes, maybe don't eat any bread. Yes.
What you had learned is that the guild that did that was trying to create something, yada yada yada, and they've
They
been
hit
since
financial
arrested.
ruin.
So now
Yes.
that guild has collapsed, and so now bakers are fighting for whoever can become the great master baker of the area. So there'll be a lot of baked goods.
Oh, maybe there's a sort of competition, a baking competition, and we can, judge the bread.
I'm gonna be honest. If any of the guild, if any bakery starts making bread that turns people into bread, I'm probably
But
just gonna
surely-
skip most baked goods in that area.
Surely Morgaine
after
would
that.
be able to see if the bread was good. I don't know, maybe not. We've got time to think about it anyway.
So, your plan is to head southward towards Bath Lake, as you've named it, and then westward towards Warm Steps.
Do you know if the lake has a real name?
You'll know if you get there.
Okay.
You then would gather up your camp and gather everyone together. Vandervold shrinking his shop, everyone putting their tents up into the top of wagons and carts. For the first time in a little while now, you are leaving Marigold with your entire camp in tow. Your Bastion coming with you, heading southward. You leave Marigold and head into the wilderness. On the dirt track roads, passing by towards the lake and eventually towards the Bay of Progress. And with this chapter coming to an end, you all level up.
Oh, let's go.
What?
Oh my
Stop!
Yeah, you're going to be level 8. So, do you want to do your health rolls now or get Bree next week for
No, we
doing
want.
hers?
I want to wait for
Yeah,
Bree.
let's wait for
Wait for Bree?
Oh,
Bree.
okay.
And then
We
we'll
do
it
them
at the start of
tomorrow.
the session.
Time
No, we
to
could
think
do them
about my-
tomorrow.
Okay,
and
you'd have to
then-
do them for because otherwise I can't change the rotating thing in the
Yeah.
middle.
Hmm.
So the sooner you roll, the better, essentially. But you can wait for Bree for doing it off stream tomorrow. That works as well. I do not mind. Chat can just see it next week. That's fine. But yeah, the sooner you tell me, the better, so I don't have to do that video last minute.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do all those rolls then during the week. Otherwise, we do have a little bit of a bingo here. So if you want to tune into the stream, I'll whip up the bingo. I've got it here ready to go. It is starts with party tries to formulate a contract. No. This is not God's Bane. I'm not like other devil's demons.
The speed at which Godsbane someone would have used that fucking gem.
100%.
I will say, we did a lot in Godforged by episode 42, right? But we did not destroy an entire layer of the abyss.
That's true.
There's like 400 something. There's like fly demons
Yeah,
there.
but like we also didn't get given a button that just said destroy
That's
layer.
true.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
no, it was
Also true.
Conveniently packaged abyss layers given to us to just
fair.
smack.
Joe bullied in pre-show. No, I gave you my. It was a moral quandary. Bounty completed. No. Bounty skipped. Refuses to answer a question. RE relationship. Did you refuse to answer any questions?
I don't think so.
I don't think she was asked it.
Yeah, I don't think I was really.
Tries to delay, distract the
Bree
party
wasn't
from
here.
going to BOP. Bear progress. I don't think so. I think you're pretty open to it, right? Like you're Desmond. You're kind of. As in, you're like ready to, you've got a little bit of courage there.
I'm ready to
face
go
your fears.
there. I'm not excited about it,
Yeah.
but I'm not like, no, we shouldn't go there.
Extra planar destination added to quest log. No. Tech addresses Carlisle using changeling goop. No.
Oh.
Party no give red rock. Yes. DM improvises random NPC name. No. Enchantment magic used against PC. Yes. Attempts intimidation roll versus Lord Riz. No. Free. Level up. Yes. PC accidentally reveals a secret to Lord Riz. No. Nat 1. Yes. There was a 0.
Yes.
Sun children connected to devils. No. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed from Carlisle.
No.
No.
No,
He
he's
was
just
mad.
mad.
He was mad.
No,
He's mad. He's just
GM
mad.
He
description.
was just like, I'm not giving him the thing. That was it.
You didn't like the teeth. Nat 20. We did have one. Ability 30 plus
Yes.
check. Yes. Vault law.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. He gave us a name, didn't he?
He gave you a name of a herald.
He did give us the name of a herald.
If it says main story lore,
Feels like a reach. Feels like if you have to question it that much, it's a
no
reach.
club check.
It ain't
NPC
like we're
leaves the
gonna get
bastion.
fucking bingo anyway, gang.
I don't even bother checking the board, dude. This is
NPC
me
leaves the
hearing
bastion.
it. Like, I don't know the layout.
No.
No. And in PvP combat, no. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tick it off because technically you did cast
Words.
command on.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
poor Desmond.
So no bingo, but it's a hard one to guess when it's beyond that. But okay, let's do our shouts and we can finish up for the night. We'll be back next week with Bree joining us to continue discussing where you're going next and see your journey over towards the bear
They're gonna be
progress.
so glad to be back for Barf Lake.
Yep. Yeah, if you
she's
guys
gonna
start
love
looking
it.
into some of that, it's some fun stuff. The decks of many things, or many more things, I should say. All right, let's do some shouts. Let's start off with, let's go for a weird order. Let's go with Tomato.
Man, get out of my face. Lean back.
Okay.
Lean back.
So- hey,
Lean
dude.
back. You're too
All
close.
good, man.
I'm
Okay.
overwhelmed. I don't want to do this.
Sorry. Shane?
Right when I started coughing, what the hell, man?
I'm bad at this today.
Hey, I'm
Can I lean forward
Shane.
again? Is that right?
Dude, back off.
Okay.
Chill, bro. I'm gonna be playing Terraria with like 10 million mods after this.
Okay.
So,
That laugh was amazing.
Bye. Bye.
Standard Shane experience.
Yeah, he's psychopath. All right. Well, OG.
Hi, I'm OLG. I streamed yesterday, so I can say that sometimes I do, in fact,
That's true.
stream. Also, I tweeted yesterday, so that part is true as well. So yeah, sometimes I do
Who
things.
are you and what have you done?
I know, right? Who? What is happening?
Sam.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sam. Thanks, Joe. You wanna play Deadlock after this, Joe?
No, I'm gonna go and become a full-time cop on GTA.
He has training.
I have.
Oh,
Well,
purple?
I got my test. Yeah.
Dude, I skipped academy.
I'm
I'll see you
purple.
out there, though.
Get slammed.
I'll see you out there, though. I do have a lot of experience in fairness.
The son of a bitch.
You can't see how.
Academy.
You can't really see your mad face because your mic is in
Yeah.
the way, Joe.
You're so far reclined, dude. Look at you.
Yeah, well, I've been sent back, dude. I don't know what to say. Can I come back forward?
It's been sent back.
Like
Yeah,
a
you can
little,
come-
like, but like
Okay.
really in our face last time about it.
Okay, sorry.
Not
can
that
I'll-
far.
Just
I really
back
don't
a
have
little
much
bit more.
choice. I don't know how much I can really keep in frame here. Dodger is currently AFK. I was trying to buy some time just in case you could shoot back and give her one, but otherwise,
Oh yeah, no, she's out.
she's out skis.
She's gone.
Babu woke up. So.
Go and check her out on twitch.tv/Dexbonus. I believe she was playing the Tales from the Shire game today, so check out that VOD. That sounds cool as hell. Otherwise, yeah, she plays all different variety of games. And Bree couldn't make it this week. Go check out Twitter, you see where she is, and she's doing all sorts of stuff there, having fun. So she'll be back with us next week for episode 43. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks everyone for coming out. And I have a Patreon if you want to see behind the scenes there. Otherwise, small streams this week and all that good stuff. But most of all, just thank everyone for playing. We'll see you guys next week. I'm going to lean forward now. So thank you. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. So thank you, Tomato. And we'll see everyone for episode 43. Take care and bye.
Jesus.